Thomas Paine, Sam Adams, Benjamin Franklin. These men spoke up for what they thought was right. From their courage came such documents as the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. From their willingness to speak what was sometimes unpopular but right, we enjoy such liberties as freedom of speech, the right to keep and bear arms, and freedom of religion. There are those who still wish to oppress our freedoms, and there are still patriots willing to stand up and defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Men like Zeb Bell, who honor our founding fathers and what they stood for. It's now time for Zeb at the ranch, speaking up and defending your freedoms. Brought to you by Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers and all of the other great advertisers on the program. And now, Zeb Bell.
On this program, we try to always supply you with important information that you should know. Number one, a mousetrap placed on top of your alarm clock will prevent you from rolling over and going back to sleep after you hit the snooze button. And number two, very important, if you have a very bad cough, take a large dose of laxatives. You'll be afraid to cough. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes Kate Smith, and God bless America, followed by a patriot with our Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning. Oh, thank you very much. Good morning. Zeb at the Ranch, I'm Zeb Bell, and we want to say thank you to our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you, along with some of our great advertisers during the course of the program, Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More, 459 Overland in Burley, and our friends at Western Way Services, always at your disposal. Get on the route service today, 734-6969. Oh, I could lay down and go to sleep. Good morning, Gina.
Good morning, sir. Shall I cue some Lawrence Welk for you?
Oh, yes, please. Do you have it ready?
Actually, I'm looking right now.
A little bubbly music with the Champagne music makers, Lawrence Welk, Larry Hooper, and, of course, Myron Florin, playing the accompanying accordion with Lawrence Welk.
Actually, honestly, I can't find any Lawrence Welk.
It's too old.
It's been a long time ago. I did.
I went to see Larry Hooper one time.
Now?
You don't know who Larry Hooper is?
I hang my head in shame.
Ye of innocence and young age have no idea who Larry Hooper was the bass singer on Lawrence Welk.
I'm gonna YouTube that, and I'll find some.
Oh, good. Do we have a pledger?
You know, we have got Rotten on for the pledge and Mr. Michael Rogers on for the
Well, let's say good morning, Rotten. How are you with the pledge, please?
I am rottener than rotten. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
How's that very shy and retiring, never says anything to cause any problems wife of yours?
I'm not going to answer that.
I don't think you should, and I shouldn't have asked anyway. Good morning. Thanks, Rotten. Okay. Oh, Helen's sitting there going, I'll get you. Hey, it's time for the weather, brought to you by Rock Creek Growers on the corner of Maxine Lane and Irene Streets in Kimberly, and they're going to have a great big open house, and it's kind of a thank you, customer appreciation kind of an evening at 6 to 9 tomorrow night, Friday. We're going to run over there, and we'll see you there at, of course, Rock Creek Growers on the corner of Maxine Lane and Irene Streets in Kimberly, 423-6800. And now, the world's greatest weatherman, Michael Rogers Weather.
Good morning, everybody, and if you go to Rock Creek Growers tomorrow night, it's going to be a pretty nice night, although last night here in the Magic Valley, boy, did we get a lightning show like you would not believe. Great thing about lightning is it's amazing. It is dangerous as it is, but when you just get a chance to just see it just light up the sky, it's free of charge. It doesn't cost you anything. Look for a high today of about, it's going to be hot, about 97, 65 really overnight low. And tomorrow night when you head out to Rock Creek Growers, it's going to be a beautiful night for their open house. As you get through the weekend, more of the same. A lot of sun, very little clouds. Temperatures are going to be on the hot side, and I'm not going to rule out the slight chance of a thunder shower just like you got last night. But other than that, enjoy the day, enjoy the weekend, and enjoy the weather.
Isn't he great? He's the best doggone weatherman in the country, and a good friend, too. MichaelRogersWeather.com, brought to you by Rock Creek Growers. Tomorrow night, we're going to be over there, 6 to 9, great big kind of an open house. They want to say thank you to you right there on their new patio. Rock Creek Growers, corner of Maxine Lane and Irene Streets in Kimberly. Hey, I think we ought to sell some cattle.
All right, good set of steer calves there. Here to get $31, 1 31, going out payment 32.
That's the world's best auctioneer, Merv May, along with his buddy Lance Udy and the rest of the crew at Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley, with sale time today at 10:30 a.m. And the number to call, 678-9411. In addition to the regular run, they're going to be having some 90 head of butcher cows brought in from Southridge Dairy out of Golden Valley. Burley Butte Feedlot at Burley is going to be bringing in 60 head of Baron Holstein heifers. Cronquist Ranches over at Logan, Utah, 30 head of 800-pound steers. Tom Otley, hello, Tom, up at Elba, 20 head of 800-pound heifers. And Bob Telford's going to be bringing in 12 cows and about 20 calves. Going to be a good sale today at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard. Sale time 10:30. Merv, sell those steers.
All right, good set of steer calves there. Here to get $31, 1 31, going out payment 32, 2 1/2, 3 1/2, 134, 4 1/2, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 135, 50, 135 1/2, $7.35. Zeb Bell get bottom again.
Yes, he did. And I'm at bottom this morning. I'm telling you, went to that roping over at Jerome County Fairgrounds last night. Dave Zanino put it on. We had a little break in the middle of it for a lightning break, and everybody ran to the pickups and the trailers and kind of hovered inside. That was really some lightning last night. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Don't forget Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. Hello, Ramsey's. They open the door at 7:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday. They've got all your cords, cord ends, fuses, rubber cord, miles and miles of it, fluorescent and HID lighting, and over 57 years of serving you. You better believe it. Ramsey Heating and Electric, where they provide warm winters and cool summers. Call ahead, have your order waiting at 678-0459. Why? Oh, why do we, you and I, give our money away? Have you ever thought about this? You know, like, we pay our taxes through the sinister IRS demands. Oh, you must. But we have no say as to where the money goes. They're using our money to create friendships, buy friendships, and whatever with our money. They give it to the likes of Pakistan, and they give it to the likes of the completely socially unrest going on in Egypt. And yet at the same time, and I'm not trying to be an isolationist on this, but at the same time, right here in this country, we are on the brink of financial disaster. We're looking at a huge problem comparable or even much, much worse than Greece. And we're giving our money away to buy friends. That's the attitude we have, a buy friends attitude, and it doesn't work. It's like giving your sandwich or your Snickers bar or everything in your lunch bucket to the schoolyard bully. Give me this, give me that, or else. Why are we wasting our money? And I think we ought to make a concentrated effort to call every one of our senators and congressmen and say, hey, that's enough. We want you to vote no. No more funding for this. No more funding for this. We are being taken advantage of. We don't want our money going there at all. We've got to take back the premise of America. We, the people. We, the people. I love saying that. But we've lost our swagger. We've lost our toughness. And we're nothing now but like a money machine, just handing it out to these people, and they couldn't care less about us or our values. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Give me a call. I would love to hear from you this morning. Good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb. I think as taxpayers we just should stop paying our federal taxes. If they're not coming into the coffers, they can't spend it.
You know, I have a tendency to really agree with you. I think every American right now has got to take some kind of a response to tell the government they're sick and tired of what's going on. They want the answers on the scandals. They want to find out about Benghazi, the IRS scandal, the First Amendment scandal. They want to find out more of what's hidden in Obamacare that's going to hit us right in the face in a couple of months, January 1st, 2014, and we're not going to pay one dadgum thin dime to the government until we get answers. And you know what really irritates me, my dear lady, is that the IRS, these punks and thugs, and that's what they are, punks and thugs, are dictating to us, or you pay your taxes or we're going to get you, we're going to destroy your life, we're going to destroy your business. And these punks and thugs right now are under investigation for all the wrongdoing they've done.
Well, you know, the investigation, I'm just so skeptical of any kind of investigation. I mean, look at what we've gotten so far from all these crazy investigations. Absolutely nothing. Nothing on Benghazi. Nobody comes forward. Everybody hides behind the president's executive order or whatever you want to call it. And I'm sick and tired of the government just basically spitting in our face as American people and treating us like third world country citizens. It's terrible.
Well, you and I are supposedly the most important part of America. All of us are, as we the people. And we're being treated as those people. Not we the people, but those people. And leadership is absolutely lacking in respect for the people that pay the bills, and that's you and I. And I just absolutely, I've had it. I mean, I said it the other day, where's pride in America? And what happened to pride in ourselves? And I think absolutely, and here we go again, I'm going to take heat for this, but we need to, my dear lady, have a revolution of thought, word, and deed in this country to right the ship and get the course back to where it should be.
Right, and you know, I've contacted my congressmen and senators, and I'm tired of their responses. I'm tired of form letters. I'm tired of them never even getting the information and responding. In fact, you know, their aides do a really good job, don't get me wrong, but the thing about it is they're not paying attention. They don't care, you know, and maybe not so much our representatives, but at times it feels like, you know what, they're elitists and they just want to do whatever they want to do, and it doesn't matter what we think or want. They're just going to do what they're going to do, and it's regardless of what we feel as their constituents.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're supposed to be representing us, and we're being taxed to death. We're being just, it's beyond the pale. This is 10 million times worse than what our founding fathers went to war over.
You know, and let me give you...
Short of driving to Washington, D.C. and having a rebellion, what else can we do?
Well, you know, I'll give you an example. I'll give you a perfect example. Mike Simpson is running for re-election, and he has some competition this year, and be that as it may, we'll see how strong that competition is. But here's the deal. Why should I or anybody else in the media, and think about this and give me your answer, why should I chase after him to have him, Mike Simpson, call me on my program and explain his positions and, I think, apologize for some of the things he's done wrong blatantly against, like, Michelle Bachmann, and demanding a letter that he sent to Michelle Bachmann denigrating her for her stand on Muslims in the administration. I think Mike should call me on this program, and he should say, you know, Zeb, I need you and I need the constituents of Magic Valley, and let's talk about the problems that they have, you have, etc. But I'm not going to chase after him.
No, he knows you're out there, and he knows the exposure that he would get from coming on your program. I mean, absolutely. You know, and he doesn't care. He's been there so long now, I don't think that he really can come down to our level anymore. They get up there and they forget who they are and where they came from.
Well, the thing is, on this program, and, you know, everybody likes to get the political advertising. Oh, boy, it's good money during political season. But I'll tell you right now, my dear lady, when it comes to advertising for people that are not going to work with their constituents and or me, I don't care if I get their advertising or not.
Right, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, he will have a heck of a time getting my vote this time. I don't know that I can, in good conscience, do it.
All right, well,
I'll have to wait and see how it plays out.
You are very appreciated on this program. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You
Bye.
bet. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Valley-wide Home and Ranch, 910 South Oneida in Rupert. Oh, they've got everything for fair time. They've got all your haulers and your show sticks and all your shampoo to fluff up those animals, make them look really, really good for the judges. And they've got everything. They've got all your shirts. They've got everything, all your clothing over there, all your boots. I mean, holy buckets, what are you waiting for? Get into Valley-wide Home and Ranch today. All your feed needs, your shavings, I mean, the list goes on, and Steve always says, if they don't have what you're looking for, just let them know they'll get it for you. You better believe it. Valley-wide Home and Ranch, 910 South Oneida in Rupert. Best doggone people to work with around. Valley-wide Home and Ranch. Caller, I'll be right there. Don't go away. I want to remind everybody, too, about JB's in Burley, 136 East 5th North. Oh, my, have they got some great meals over there. And always some super specials going on, and the best of breakfast buffets. I love breakfast. As a matter of fact, I'm starving right now. I didn't have any supper last night, my own fault. And I love breakfast bars. I love all the eggs, and I love all the bacon, and I love all the pancakes and the French toast and everything. It's delicious at JB's, 136 East 5th North. And don't forget, that is the home of Zeb's Lunch Bunch. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb.
Al.
You know, you had Rich on the other day, and he said, yeah, we're talking about it. That's all they've done for over a year, talk about other stuff. Now they're right back where they was a year ago. Well, we got to talk about it because of this budget situation and all that. And, you know, like it was before we shut down the government. Well, I got news for them people. You're paid to do the job. You have no business taking off the whole month of August to come home and, you know, spread your line of baloney. Stay the hell home there in Washington, D.C. Do your jobs and then tell us people what you're doing right.
Al, the month of August, with the recess for our congressional people to go back home, it's kind of a double-edged sword, and I want to get your opinion on this. As far as the Democrats are concerned, I think they're going to devise talking points that they're going to go on the attack against the Republicans, the GOP, and those of us that think that the Democrats not real bright with their the way they're handling the so-called phony scandals. I'm worried about what they're going to do. But on the other hand, do you think the constituency is going to walk up to them and say, all right, get these things settled, get back to work, and start working for us? What honestly do you think is going to happen during this August recess?
I'll bet you 4 to 1 you're going to see very little of them. They're too damn ashamed to come to the American people and have us tell them what the hell they're doing wrong.
I can't argue that. I'll
tell you one thing. I'm getting so sick and tired of these people on these phony scandals.
Yeah.
Mr. President Benghazi was not a phony scandal. Get your head out of your hind end.
Well,
come back to the United States and let's work it right.
I'm going to talk about that in just a minute, and I appreciate your comments. Al, as always, thank you very much, sir. God bless. Have a good day.
Washing my pickup. That's what happened last night, that rainstorm.
Yeah, you caught me out, and it's all your fault that I got all wet. All right, buddy. Thanks a lot. Hey, we want to say thank you to some of our great Cassia County Fair and Rodeo sponsors, and they include Butte Irrigation. I'm going to go through and give you a bunch of them at a time. Butte Irrigation, 116 South, 600 West, Highway 27 in Paul. And don't forget, they've got a new location on Kimberly Road, north of Kimberly by Red Cap Corner. Butte Irrigation, major hub for agriculture irrigation parts since 1975. They will get you wet. Along with Burley Veterinary Hospital, 2869 Overland and Burley. Oh, yeah, Doctors Wally Ward and Scott Morley. They can work on small and large animals in a caring, compassionate atmosphere. Burley Veterinary Hospital, thank you very much. And our friends at the Book Plaza. Yeah, Colonel Dale and the rest of the crew, the home of the National Pioneer Hall of Fame. All the books, new and used, gifts for all occasions. You're going to love it. The Book Plaza, 222 West 11th Street in Burley. You stop in and see them today. All right, calls, welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I want to ask you this. Our FBI is supposedly the most knowledgeable investigative force and source of anywhere in the world. Boy, they can find things out, okay? But aren't you a little critical about what's going on? And I'm going to carry this probably for the next half hour. we've always had the attitude, you mess with us, the United States, and we will step on you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, don't you find it a little bit weird that one of the absolute killers and one of the flamethrowers and shooters in Benghazi, he was interviewed on television. He's been interviewed by CNN. And the FBI can't find them? Here's what bugs me about the Obama administration and my hatred for Barack Obama and his administration. They stood by the caskets of the Benghazi dead coming home. And Hillary and Obama vowed that they would have justice. Justice would be served. And the FBI can't find these people and take them to justice. And CNN interviews one of the killers. They found him. Our government and the FBI can't. Now, please, think about that and give me a call. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. The illustrious FBI can't find these people, but a CNN investigative news reporter interviews one in a hotel lobby. Justice is being served? Are you kidding me? This administration is so slovenly and so pathetic and so amateuristic and so absolutely vile and sinister. When are the American people going to wake up? Travel Loop Supply, 1050 West, 203 South of Hebron, 438-8730, right there at Jim McCall's farm. They got rolls and rolls and rolls of duct tape. Duct tape, the world's greatest invention. It holds the world together. And they've got a closeout on small engine Honda parts, and they got all your oil and air filters, and they got Bubba ropes. They've got all the Bubba ropes. All you have to do is give them a call. They're great. Travel Loop Supply, 438-8730. And we're waiting. Is Jim McCall on the phone?
Not yet.
Oh, not yet. Okay. Then I'll just kind of stumble along and pad time. Let's see. Let's do a little soft shoe tap dance, shall we? Look at me, the fat guy on the crutches. Anyway, big team roping going on at the Jerome County Fairgrounds this Sunday. It's called the Fair Roping, and the top 15 teams will compete during the PRCA Rodeo at the Jerome County Fair. They're going to sign up at 5, rope at 6. It's a number 11 capped at a number 6 heeler, 3 for 20 coming up this Sunday at the Jerome County Fairgrounds. Do we have Mr. McCall?
Ringing, ringing, ringing.
Ringing. Voicemail. Well, we already kind of gave an advertisement, so we'll try to catch Jim a little bit later on. Anyhow, it's time now for the Pacific Steel and Recycling Capital Press Ag Minute. And Pacific Steel and Recycling at 320 West Main in Burley, 678-2321. We'll be right back.
Today's Ag Minute brought to you by the Capital Press, the West Ag Weekly.
Japan's decision to lift its ban on purchasing U.S. Western white wheat will boost wheat prices, but other factors will have more impact, analysts say. Bids on soft white wheat for August delivery tendered $6.50 to $11.50 per bushel higher Wednesday compared with Tuesday's noon bids, according to the USDA's Market News Service at the Port of Portland. Prices topped out at $7.31 a bushel. But corn prices will have more impact on wheat prices than Japan's announcement. If the Midwest produces a big corn crop this year, corn prices will drop, and so will wheat. That's because both commodities can go into feed markets. With the Capital Press Ag Minute, this is Hannah Brous.
For more agriculture news and information, turn to the West Ag Weekly, the Capital Press, and capitalpress.com.
Oh, you better believe it. Brought to you by Pacific Steel and Recycling. Wonderful, wonderful people at 320 West Main in Burley. And don't forget, if you got old car batteries, if you got old computer and electronics, or old cars and trucks, well, they pay top dollar for scrap iron, tin, aluminum, cans, cars, computers, batteries, everything over at Pacific Steel and Recycling. Serving the Mini-Cache area area now for over 30 years at 320 West Main in Burley, 678-2321. All right, let's get some calls coming in here, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. It's just unbelievable to me, and I'd like somebody to describe it and explain it to me as to how the FBI and how this administration could lead the American people down the path of, well, we're working on it. We're trying to find the bad guys in Benghazi. They were caught on film, some of them, many of them. And we're going to bring them to justice. Justice will be served. And a CNN news reporter interviews one of these dastardly killers on CNN, but our FBI can't get the job done. And then you have the likes of Jay Carney, spokesperson for the White House, absolutely a mouse out of his hole, saying, well, if you want an answer to that question as to why, contact the FBI. The FBI says they don't know anything. Isn't it time that we, the American people, started having some answers? Isn't it time that we, the American people, we just demand, hey, that's enough. That's enough. Grab these people by the short end of the necktie and pull it up and make them look like a human thermometer, and really, till they're red in the face, start giving us some real answers. We just don't seem to care. Whether it's Benghazi, whether it's the IRS scandal, whether it's the journalists' First Amendment rights scandal, all are being twisted and lied about, and we don't seem to care. I can't understand it. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Show me that you care and give me a call and let me know your thoughts. Caller, I'll be right there. Don't forget Harris Plumbing NG. For all your plumbing service needs, one call does it all. 431-8633. Write that number down, 431-8633. Your plumbing problems are going to just go away. Drips, leaks, clogs, main water line repair, water heaters, softeners, everything, 24/7 service. Nathan and the crew taking care of you at Harris Plumbing NG. They are the best, I guarantee you, because they've done some super work for me. I absolutely applaud them. Harris Plumbing NG, 431-8633. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Well, good morning, Mr. Bell. How are you?
Not bad.
Good. You know, I don't know why we expect all these investigations to prove anything when it's the government that's investigating themselves.
Yeah. Tell me.
How do we expect that to be fair?
Yeah, how are we going to absolutely, and this is where I think, Donna, honestly, the American public, and some people are going to take this as an offensive statement, but it's the truth. We have been dumbed down so much with this Obama administration that I don't think people care anymore. They're just more concerned about whether they're going to go to a little ta-ta-ta party on Friday night or if they're going to do something on the weekend. I don't think the American people really care.
I think you're right. Most of them don't. You know, there are still a few of us that do. But we can't do it alone. But, yeah, you know, I mean, it just amazes me how naive, I won't say stupid, I'll say naive people are to think that it's just going to go away.
Well, okay, now you said naive, but I'm just going to come out and tell you that when I sit down and watch television and I see these man-on-the-street interviews, and you see these people being interviewed that might be 35, 30, 28, 29, and they haven't got a clue what's going on, nor do they care. That's not naive. That's just being damn dumb.
Well, I'm nicer than you are word-wise, I guess.
No, you're not. I know you.
And if I could, I'd like to take just a second to thank everybody for coming out and supporting the POW Cook Shack out at the Minidoka Fair. We, first of all, we want to thank Gina for arranging to get us some homemade sauerkraut to go with our German sausage. If you haven't tried it, you have got to come and try it. Everything out of the booth is from scratch. It's homemade. It is just phenomenal. Well,
I know it was great, and I know you guys did a great job and everything. So, and Gina's really one of those kind of people you just ask her to give a little bit, and she just does so much more.
She gives a lot.
Yep. All right. Well, listen, kiddo.
Y'all have a great day.
Thank you much. See you later. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Did you hear about Lauren Green? You know who Lauren Green is? She's a very, very talented news reporter for Fox News nationally. And she is what is considered to be the number one religious reporter in the industry. Very, very nice lady, and asks very direct questions about what's going on in the world of religion. Well, she sat down with a Muslim author of an anti-Jesus Christ book. Yeah, I mean, it was a touchy situation there. And she asked him questions. And she is under fire. Listen to this. Because she asked this Muslim author direct questions about the book and why some of his facts, quote unquote, didn't match up. She is under fire. And the rest of the liberal journalistic media is after Lauren Green saying, well, you shouldn't have asked that question. Oh, no. It's almost like sacred cows are Muslims, and we cater to them. Oh, there's been a hue and cry all through the media. Why, Lauren Green, shame on you. How dare you put this author on the spot? How dare you challenge his facts? Well, kudos to her. Kudos to Lauren Green. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, Zeb, I was reading in the paper yesterday about this sage-grouse season. Here they're on going on to the endangered species list. They're having a great sage-grouse season. One bird. It's unreal. What are the Fish and Game thinking?
You know, I'm just going to come right out and say this, Fred. I've challenged the Fish and Game about why they have a hunting season, and you know the answer to the question as well as I do, my dear friend. It's all about a 5-letter word called money.
Well, here these birds are about to go on the endangered species list, and they're having this season.
Yep.
These guys drive up there to get these birds. Most of them are going up, and they're going to shoot more than one bird.
Yeah.
And they can't see this.
Well,
what's wrong with it?
I think, honestly, what needs to be done here, Fred, and maybe you won't agree with this, I think there needs to be a curtailment of anything to do with the sage-grouse. Anything. And we need to just stick it in the eye of not only the Fish and Game, but also the powers that be that want to make that bird so sacred that they want to eliminate any investments in the land as far as agriculture, etc. And we need to say, okay, we're willing to stop this and everything else in honor of that bird, and hopefully we can have a resurgence of that bird, and we'll do everything we can to prove it. But having a hunting season, while maybe ranchers and farmers and agriculture and communities might suffer in the future, that is the dumbest thing I ever heard of.
That's right. I'm with you all the way. Yeah, that's hunting season for them. That's ludicrous. I can't believe it.
When you've got these enviro wackos that are using every form of persistence that they can to take you and I and everybody else off the land, whether it's the wolf predator, whether it's the salmon issue, whether it's water issues, whether it's spotted owl issues, whether it's a little bitty fish in a canal in California, or now the sage grouse, they're not going to stop, Fred. They're going to use everything they can, and having a hunting season, to me, is as dumb as it gets.
That's right. That's the way I look at it, Zeb.
All right, Fred. God bless you for your call. Appreciate it. Thank you. And I think it all boils down to one thing. Like I said earlier, it's money. I'm just... Here's a bird that is going to possibly cripple the West. Here is a bird that absolutely could stop communities. Shut down schools. Make people just absolutely destitute if they list that bird. And they're going to have a hunting season on the bird? Where is the sanity there? Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Boy, I bet I made friends with a lot of hunters here all of a sudden. Minidoka County Fair sponsors saying, hey, come on over and see us. Magic Valley Carpet at 613 D Street in Rupert. Not just a carpet shop. They've got vinyl tile supplies, hardwood carpet in stock. They've got rolls and rolls. And by the way, they've got the best installers and the best low prices in the valley. Magic Valley Carpet in Rupert. And also a thanks. I got a dumb hummingbird out here. Deanne put some flowers on the windows, those little decals, and the hummingbird's trying to get into the flower. Huh. Anyway, Snyder Automotive and Truck Parts, 205 West Ellis Street in Paul. They provide parts and repairs for automotive, agricultural, and industrial equipment vehicles. And I'll tell you what, they specialize in diesel engine and fuel injection repair. These people are good. Over 30 years in service to you, Snyder Automotive and Truck Parts in Paul. Calls welcome, 436-2244. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's all a part of this UN Agenda 21, shut us down, this whole phony environmental deal isn't about protecting species. It's about kicking people off the land and basically putting all power in the UN. And of course, our EPA is the one that's been leading the parade of agencies, and there's other agencies too that have been doing this to us. And this whole Endangered Species Act has been a farce from the very beginning. There's the spotted owl thing that shut down the timber industry here. We're now importing the stuff that we should be doing here. We got forests that are dying, and yet you can't cut them and use the timber. It's just incredible. The ludicrous. It's not just, it's ludicrous.
Well, the thing that bothers me so much, Adrian, is people like you that have preached this for literally over a decade, and you've warned us. You knew about this Agenda 21, and a lot of people kind of wrinkled their nose and said, oh, yeah, sure. But now that we've seen all these snail darter issues, we've seen now the sage grouse, we've seen the wolf restoration, we've seen the salmon issues and the water issues and everything else. Now people all of a sudden are opening their eyes and going, oh, wait, whoa, what happened? They're trying to take everything away from us. And still people are not outraged and do anything. I still honestly think, Adrian, we have the power of numbers that we could do something and change this, but we sit back and we're absorbing like a sponge.
Well, unfortunately, you and a few of you that are the lone media people. The rest of the media is in the tank for all of this nonsense. That's the problem. And then you got a lot of people that don't really care as long as they get their welfare checks. Yeah. And, they're having a good time. They got their big screen TV, and they can go fishing when they want to. They don't really give a rip. That's the problem. It's just not a lot of people. It hasn't affected them personally. And as long as those checks come in, it's really sad, but we just have to keep pushing on. And we've made a lot of progress, and we got to keep the pushing on our congressional delegation. They keep compromising with the EPA instead of cutting off all the funding, meaning Congressman Simpson particularly. He's in a position he could really wield an axe at that agency, but he just kind of, soft gloves the whole thing.
Absolutely.
And just cuts back a little bit here and there. We need a major surgery on that agency.
I'll say this, Adrian, and I got to do a weather forecast here. You can see it's 10:40 or 8:45. But I just want to say this. I mentioned this a while ago, and I've taken a lot of heat for my verbiage on this program. When you mention the word revolution, he's an anarchist, he's everything else. But you know something? We need to have a revolution to get the power back to where it belongs in this country, Adrian. We the people.
Yeah, and that's what, we need to remind our congressional people and email our friends. There is a U.S. Constitution out there. We have people that represent us, and they've taken an oath to uphold the U.S. Constitution against enemies, foreign and domestic. All of this environmental stuff is an attack on us.
I agree. I got to run and do the weather. And I appreciate your call as always. Thank you, my dear friend. All right, caller number 2, don't go away. I'll be right back because here's a weather update with MichaelRogersWeather.com.
Hey, everybody, Michael Rogers for MichaelRogersWeather.com. You see that lightning show last night? The great thing about lightning, guess what? When you get lightning in the Magic Valley like that, it's free of charge. 92 for the high today. A lot of sun, very little clouds. 57 for the overnight low. Enjoy the weather. It's the only weather you got.
Thank you, MichaelRogersWeather.com. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. And they're backing up. Please, when you call in, you got to have a little patience with me. I'm hurrying. I mean, I'll try to get you in as quick as I can, and your calls and your comments and your thoughts, very much appreciated. Please just sit there and have just a little patience because I'll do my best to get you on as quick as I can. So give us a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Again, call me back. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Hey, while I'm waiting for that call to call back and give me their thoughts, don't forget the Jerome County Fair next week. It's going to be the 6th through the 10th, and you're going to love it. Actually, it starts on the 3rd and goes all the way through the 11th. I mean, holy buckets, they got activities going on all over the place at the Jerome County Fairgrounds with the theme, Say Cheese. They're going to have all kinds of fun next week with the 4-H buildings open with lots of livestock showings both days. And then, of course, don't forget the Jerome County Fair, Main Street Parade at 5 p.m. on next Tuesday. And then, of course, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they're going to have the great big PRCA rodeo. All kinds of fun for you and the family this year at the Say Cheese Jerome County Fair. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Sorry, Zeb. I dug in my pocket and found a little more patience, so I called back.
Hey, good man. I appreciate that. Thank you. What can I do for you?
Hey, on the, you asked the question, why are they having a hunting season on sage grouse if they're, if they're so few and there's such an issue? But I'm wondering if, you don't always get the same, the right hand knowing what the left hand is doing. Maybe they really do have numbers for a hunt, but the left hand, no pun intended, but the left hand is chirping that, they're endangered and we got to shut everything down. But in reality, they aren't that few, and there are plenty for a hunting season, and, life should go forward that way.
Now, I want to interrupt you right there because you sound like a very knowledgeable individual that understands, and I'm assuming that you're a hunter. Is that right?
Well, actually, I'm not. I'm just driving down the road.
Well, no, but I respect your opinion. I tend to agree with you. I think the sage grouse issue is nothing more than a smokescreen, again, for Agenda 21. Again, to make people off the public lands. Again, to move us out of the way and have governmental control. I absolutely agree with you. And I'm not saying that I'm totally opposed to a hunting season, but I want the enviros to back off of ranching and farming and threatening all these communities with a loss of their livelihood because of the sage grouse issue.
Well, like you said before, it all comes down to the money and the power and control.
Well, look at the wolf situation. Look at the wolf situation, sir. I don't know what your feelings are about the restoration of the wolves, but we fought since 1995 on this wolf issue, where the environmentalists said finally, okay, we'll agree to 10 breeding pairs. Now, you know as well as I do, we've got thousands of wolves in the Northwest area right now, and many of that thousands, plural, right here in the state of Idaho. So we're way, way, way beyond that 10 breeding pair that they agreed to, and now they want even more stipulations and restrictions. You can't win when you fight these knot-headed environmental groups.
Well, they're not going at it logically or for the benefit of the American people, that's for sure.
I agree, and thank you. Your concept I agree with you on. Thank you very much for your call this morning. Nice man right there, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I guess if you're going to have a hunting season, then the birds must be in pretty good shape, huh? Are they? Oh, but you're going to go out and threaten grazers. You're going to go out and threaten that communities might dry up and blow away. Oh, we got to restore the bird. We've got to restore the habitat. Oh my, it's critical. Why? They're going to be extinct. So we'll have a hunting season. I tend to agree with everything that man said. I really do. I think it's all so ambiguous and ridiculous, but we, the American public, we're just going, oh yeah, okay, well, whatever you think. I can't be that way. I might lose a lot of friends. I might even lose advertisers. Because if I think something is wrong, I'm going to say it's wrong. If I think something is right, I'm going to say it's right. I'm not going to kowtow to the money. And I have lost advertisers. I have had people come up to me and say, well, I don't like your stand. I don't want to be on your show. Fine. Advertise someplace else. I'm not going to change my position. I am not going to weaken my stance just to accept the gratuity of your money for me to brag about your business when you don't believe in me and I don't believe in you. That's why I've got the best advertisers and sponsors on my program. We have a cohesive bond. They know where I'm coming from. I know what they need. I'm not going to change or weaken my stance. Calls welcome, 436-2244. And oh boy, that makes people upset. Oh, why? He's so egotistical. Well, it's not ego. It's what's right is right. I want to talk about our major sponsor. Good timing right there. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations serving you. Tires, tires, tires. I'll be right with you, caller. Have patience. Don't forget all your tires for your car, your pickup, your SUVs, your horse trailers, your boat trailers. Everything, they've got tires for you. Absolutely. And the best in brake service. When you push your foot on the brake, you go, oh, I'm stopping. That's good. They can help you with the best in brake service. Professionally trained technicians, over 30 years experience. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers with Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family and Paul, Lane and Rupert, John on Poline and Twin, and Randy on Overland and Burley. The best. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Good morning, you're on the air.
Yeah, good morning again, Zeb. On this sage grouse, you know, they tell you, oh, you got to watch out because they can't feed with cattle. That's a bunch of bull.
It's a lie. It's a complete lie.
I used to hunt this whole doggone state, and I hunted them sage grouse out there by the old airport and the well and all that stuff on the Minidoka Desert. And I've seen thousands of birds in among the herds of cattle.
That's right.
Antelope with them. So when they tell you this stuff, that's a crock, and they know it, so just don't listen to
I absolutely will tell it like it is. That when they say that it's the grazing that has ruined the habitat and the species, that's a lie. It's a bold-faced lie, and they get away with it. That's the problem, Al.
I know it. I've seen it go since, like I said, I'm pushing 80, and I've seen a lot, and it's getting worse every day because, like you say, money, money, money.
Yeah, it's all follow the money and whose pocket it's going to.
I've seen more territory ruined by environmentalists than I've ever seen before in my life.
Absolutely.
Owl Canyon's a good example. Knapp Lakes and all up and through there, good example. Don't cut the dirty timber down. No, leave it alone. Don't spray for pine beetles. No, leave it alone. So, environmentalists, go take a hike.
Yeah, you'll never find me be very gracious and helpful or kind to the environmental movement because I think it's insidious and very hateful to the rest of us. Al, thank you very much.
Have a good one.
All right, God bless. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. You know, yesterday we had Mark Moyle on the program from the Moyle Mink Farm, and the devastating effects that they had from these animal liberators, these absolute terrorists. And yesterday my wife pulled up on the website the Bite Back review. They opened blatantly, coming out and just praising what they did in destroying a business. And if there's a way, Bite Back is in West Palm Beach, Florida, and if there's a way to go and arrest these guys and put them all in handcuffs, face down on the pavement, a dirty, rocky road would be better. I'm all for it because these are nothing more than punk terrorists destroying businesses in animal agriculture, and I have no use for these people. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
I'm back, Sam.
Oh, my goodness, I didn't know you left.
I heard Al. And from the time I was old enough to throw a saddle on a horse, we used to run cattle up here between Declo and Albion on them hills. Of course, at that time there wasn't any dry forms there. And my job was to ride for the cattle. And that country up there was covered with sage-grouse.
Yes.
There was sage-grouse everywhere. And the cattle were everywhere, too. They didn't bother them. They had sagebrush. And the sagebrush even come into the flat down here, Red Declo.
Absolutely.
To feed off of the alfalfa.
Absolutely.
They can't tell me that these cattle are bothering the sagebrush.
I agree with you. I got time for...
They've been there forever.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
Cattle moved into this area.
Absolutely.
So that's a cop-out. You know it. I know it. They know it.
Well, we're going to do all I can to dispel it and keep fighting, Fred. I got one more quick call, and then I got to go to the news. Thank you very much, my dear friend, for calling back. I do appreciate it. Caller, real quick. I only got a minute left. Real fast.
I've been saying for years that you're going to go back natural. When something catches on fire, you got to let it burn. If you want to go back natural, if you want to pull the grazing cows off and you want to take care of the dying forest, when it catches on fire, you got to let it burn. You got to do away with fire suppression. That's the way that Mother Nature used to take care of it before we came here.
Yeah, and I'll tell you one thing else, too, sir, and I know, again, I'll take heat for this, but it's time to go against what the bureaucrats in three-piece suits and wingtip shoes tell us. We've got to stand up on our hind legs and fight back, and I mean literally the words fight back. I am in favor of just spitting in their eye and saying, come on, bring it on, because we, the people, need to take control. Sir, thank you for your call.
I'm right here with you.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just had it. Rules, regulations, all this other garbage from this particular administration, the shutdowns, the absolute saying you can't do this, you can't do that. It's time to stand up and say, oh, yes, we can, and we will. We are we the people. I'll be back in 6. Oh, my. Here we are, hour number 2. Already, excuse me, on a morning where I could easily lay my head down on this microphone and go to sleep. But I'm not going to do that until 11:01. Zeb at the Ranch, brought to you by our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, and all 7 locations serving you, along with our friends as advertisers, Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More at 459 Overland in Burley, and our friends at Western Waste Services.
From the canyons of the Snake River and all across southern Idaho, we're always the Jordan Circle. Western Waste Services, we care about our community, our resources, and this great land. Western Waste Services is lending a hand, always at your disposal. Western Waste Services.
Have you got a cleanup project that you need to take care of this summer? I mean, look at the garage. Open the door, and there's just barely room to drive your car in there. Well, then it's time to clean it out. Throw stuff away. You've got a lot of stuff. Well, they've got dumpsters at Western Waste Services and various sizes, so you can just clean to your heart's content and then call them, and they'll come pick up that dumpster, too. Nice people, always serving. You got all the porta potties, everything else. And get on the route service. Get rid of your garbage. Always at your disposal. Western Waste Services, 734-6969. Before we have our chamber report, I also want to remind you that Hanson Mortuary at 710 6th Street in Rupert, number to call, 436-5636, with a very, very nice man, the new owner and manager, Joel Heward. Yes, locally owned and operated, and always upholding the highest of ethical standards with unquestioned integrity to meet the expectations of you and your family. Please contact them today. We all should get the information on pre-planning funerals to help alleviate a lot of the stress and worry for our family. Hanson Mortuary in Rupert, 436-5636. Well, where in the world has she been? I haven't talked to her for a coon's age. Hello, Kay Cameron.
Good morning, Zeb.
How are you?
I'm great, and you?
Well, I'll tell you what, another warm day in the neighborhood, and last night the lightning show and the thunder bumpers, why, it was exciting.
Oh, it was quite spectacular. I always love to watch the lightning and listen to the thunder, but unfortunately, the consequences are that it does often set off a wildfire, but it was beautiful. I sat out on the porch and just enjoyed it last night.
Speaking of wildfires, that's what you and your staff are over at the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce. Wildfires, getting everything taken care of for the community.
Absolutely. We're always busy. I know we've had a lot of visitors. Jackie told me yesterday our heaviest traffic this month has been from Texas for some random reason. We've had well over 40 visitors from Texas. I think almost close to 50 visitors from the state of Texas this month, which is kind of random, but it's great. They're all traveling for various different reasons, and it's fun to visit with them, and we've just been busy, very busy, helping a lot of people.
Well, good. Now, what's cooking? Here we are. Can you believe, Kay Cameron, that it's August 1st today? Do you realize that you, as a mom, are going to be able very soon to stand in the living room window and say, "Goodbye, kids. Hello, life."
Yeah, we'll see about that. No, it is. It's August. It's been a very busy summer. We still have one more a very busy month coming up, the month of August. If you have not had an opportunity to get over to the Minidoka County Fair, do it. It's great. They've got a lot of things going on, a lot of activities. We've been over there playing chamber trivia at our space that we've got set up. I know Jackie said she stumped you last week. I think that's great.
Oh, thank you.
But come by and play chamber trivia. Get out and enjoy the Minidoka County Fair because they've got a lot of great things. A lot of people participating this year, and Minidoka County is celebrating 100 years, so it's just pretty awesome.
One of these days, you just delight in seeing me stumped. I mean, I can see the wry little grin on your face that goes, "Ha, ha, 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 we got him." Try another one, my dear. Go ahead. Just shoot your best shot.
Oh, goodness, I don't have the questions here. They're all over there.
Oh. Okay. Well,
the only one that comes to the top of my mind, and I know you should know this, and it would be, I believe it's on the category of, well, I've got two actually. I've got a chamber trivia question, and then I've got a city question. So, in 1987, which city was named Christmas City, USA?
Rupert, Idaho.
That is correct. Okay, on the chamber side, what year did the Minidoka and Cassia County, it would be the Burleigh and the Rupert Chambers merged to create the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce?
1999.
Nope.
1998?
Nope.
How about 2001?
Nope.
I don't know.
It was in 1993. We are currently celebrating our 20-year anniversary.
Well, there you go. You stumped me again. Kay Cameron, the lovely director of the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce. And if they want more information about what's going on locally, where do they get that information?
Come by and see us. We're located at 1177 7th Street in Havern on the beautiful Snake River. They can give us a call at 208-679-4793. Find us on the internet at minicashiachamber.com or like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
You realize, of course, that next week I'm going to have a plentiful amount of questions to stump you.
No, of course. I'm sure you will.
All right. Kay Cameron, thanks so much on behalf of the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce. Have a great day today.
We will. It's going to be a beautiful day again. Get out and enjoy the Minidoka County Fair. Hey, also, all you listeners, be sure if you haven't picked up your forms to walk 100 miles in 100 years, there's forms available at our office. We've got them over to the fairgrounds. It's a great program to get the community moving, and the medals that you get for completion, they're awesome.
Okay, there you have it. Kay Cameron, thank you so much. Have a great week.
Thanks, you too.
All right, bye-bye. Hey, don't forget, there's going to be door-to-door salespeople coming to your door, and they're going to knock on the door, and they're just going to kind of barge right in, and they're going to tell you that they can sell you Dish or DirecTV, and then they'll say that they can switch you to a more economical service, and then they might even tell you that they're associated with Quali's Electronics in Twin Falls. No. Qualys Electronics doesn't do any door-to-door sales. And if anybody says they're working with Qualys, they are not telling the truth. I'll tell you who is telling the truth, and that's Qualys Electronics. They can help you with Dish or DirecTV, and they can explore the options and find the best one for you, and then install it for you too. Qualys Electronics, 1730 Kimberly Road in Twin Falls, 733-4910. You give them a call today. Good folks right there at Qualys. Known them for, oh my goodness, 35 years? Nice people. Right now we're going to kill a little time before we get our next guest on the phone, and that's going to be Karen with Rock Creek Growers. And, you know, I'm always at a loss for time to try to get some of the various public service announcements in on this program. And I apologize for that, but I'm going to try to rectify a little bit of that right now. The fourth annual, the fourth annual Ride 'em, Race 'em, Run 'em event is going to be called the Not So Extreme Outdoor Challenge, is a fundraiser benefiting the Rising Stars Therapeutic Riding Program. And I think this is a wonderful, wonderful event. It provides therapeutic riding and hippotherapy to individuals with disabilities throughout all of South Central Idaho. It's going to be this Saturday, August 3rd, at Magic Mountain Ski Area. Registration at 1 p.m., a bike run at 2 p.m., and then entertainment at 4 p.m. by Crossfire. I know that group, and they're excellent. And then a tri-tip dinner and silent auction at 5:30 p.m. So that's going to be up at Magic Mountain on this Saturday. Sunday at the Jerome County Fairgrounds, Dave Zanino, everybody's friend Dave Zanino. I've never seen that guy when he's not smiling. Absolutely. He looks like a Halloween pumpkin all the time. Anyway, they're going to have on this Sunday, August 4th, a big 3 for 20 team roping. It's called the Fair Roping because the top 15 teams will compete at the Jerome Rodeo this next week. And it's going to be a number 11 and capped at a number 6 healer, 3 for 20, and that's going to start at 5 p.m. with the sign-ups at the Jerome County Fairgrounds on Sunday. Then, let's see what we have here. The 17th of August at the 93 Golf Ranch on Highway 93, the Lutheran Layman's League Golf Scramble, and it starts at 8:30 in the morning. Entry fee $65 per person, and the number to call, oh my goodness sakes, Jerry Werner. You want to call Jerry like at 4:30 in the morning, because that's when Evie's up and she can take the call. 829-4277. 829-4277. And singles that want to play on a team will be placed with a team. So there you have that. I think that covers some of the more pertinent ones that I have here on my desk right now. I hope I didn't miss anything. And if you have public service announcements, I will work them in as often as I can during the course of my program. And we do appreciate all the people sending that information to us. Thank you very, very much. Okay, now, we talked about that. Cassia County Fair. Cassia County Fair is coming up. Holy buckets, and I'll tell you what, they hit a home run this year when they signed a contract to have Aaron Tippin as the Cassia County Fair concert this year. Aaron Tippin, in my estimation, is one of the best of all-time country music singers, and some great songs like You Gotta Stand for Something. That's one of my very favorites. He's going to be there Tuesday, August 13th at the Cassia County Fair, and it's going to be ripping good. Get your tickets by calling 678-9150 at the fair office, or you can get them in person at 1101 Elba Avenue in Burley at the fair office, or stop right there in Burley to Taco Bandito. They'll help you with the tickets for the Cassia County Fair presenting Aaron Tippin. It's going to be a lot of fun at this year's Cassia County Fair. Let me check with Gina real quick and see if we have our friend Karen with Rock Creek Growers on the phone.
I am dialing now.
You're dialing as we speak. Dialing for dollars, you say, dear. And she's not answering me. Little news note. Alex Rodriguez, you know, the big New York Yankees shortstop, third baseman, etc., utility infielder, might be suspended for life from the Major League Baseball scene because of the performance-enhancing drug use. This is a big story, and more top baseball players will follow. But we're going to know very soon as to whether or not Alex Rodriguez, known as A-Rod, will be banned possibly for life from Major League Baseball. Let's see if Karen's there. Good morning, Karen at Rock Creek Growers. How are you?
I'm very, very good, Steph. How are you doing?
Well, I tell you what, I understand that tomorrow night's event at your patio party is a Tux and Tails event, so I've got to go down and rent a tuxedo after the program.
Oh, well, you are more than welcome to, but you will find more of us in our sandals, our shorts, and, a T-shirt, just so we can be comfortable and cool and just come out and listen to the music, have a few drinks, and just enjoy.
You mean to tell me it's absolutely going to be a relaxed atmosphere?
Oh, yes. Yes. We've done this a couple times up at our nursery when we had it in Mountain Home, and, it was a wonderful evening. People got to listen to the music. We have Coldwater Springs coming down, and they're going to do some wine tasting. We will have cheese and crackers and some fruit, and we have chips and salsa and some beer, and we can just sit around and visit with our neighbors and listen to the music and just have a good evening.
Now, I think you've hit a home run with me. Now, it starts at what, 6 o'clock tomorrow evening?
It's from, 6 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Jack Altamose and Terry Lee coming down from Fairfield, and they're going to be playing and singing 60s, 70s, and 80s. And you know what? I know that these guys have played with Jason Lugo. In fact, I think Terry got Jason kind of started.
Really?
Oh, Jack did. Actually, Jack did. So see, I need to get my information correct.
Are you saying that they're going to
have a fun group of guys, and we're going to have a great time?
They're playing music from the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. Are you saying, my dear, that this music is geared for those of us that might be considered as geezers?
Well, I kind of think so. The ones that we remember, yeah.
I love that music. Honest to goodness, that was when music was really music, like the Beach Boys and Bob Moran and all that kind of stuff. Man, I can't wait. This is going to be a lot of fun.
It is going to be fun. You know what? And we have just done tons of work out here. It's looking beautiful, and we just want people to come out and see the new patio. We've got the event area that's coming along beautifully, so we can kind of show that off a little bit. And truly, you just bring your own lawn chair. We're going to have chairs here, but in case we have any kind of a crowd, bring an extra chair. If you've got a specialty beer you want to bring out and you want to sit and drink your own beer, you're more than welcome to. It's just to come out and visit and have a good evening.
Now, will Randy be my valet parker and park my car?
We'll put you right up front. We'll reserve a spot.
Okay. We're going to be there. That sounds like a lot of fun tomorrow night at Rock Creek Growers. Now, Karen, tell everybody where you're located. I get calls almost every day saying, where are those people?
Yes, and we have people coming over from that direction. The easiest way to get to us is to come right downtown Kimberly. Come to the four-way stop. You're headed south on Main Street. Go about 7 more blocks to Maxine Lane. And Maxine will only turn to the east, and you know what? You will run right into our gate at the end of the street, because we sit on the very southeast corner of Kimberly, outside of city limits, so we have that funny little grid number that you can't Google. You can't put us in a GPS because it won't get you here. So just put in Maxine Lane and Irene Street, and you will find us.
All right. Now, hey, by the way, real quick, Karen, any specials going on right now?
We will start our Dog Days of Summer the 1st of August, and so everything will be 20% off. So that is actually starting today. Most of it will probably really, start in this next week, but our Dog Days do start up, and everything is 20% off, and then it's a progressive sale.
Okay.
So each week, the sale amounts will go up. The only thing people do need to be aware of on items that we have limited numbers or things that sell out quicker, those will go out the door first.
Absolutely.
So if, like a willow tree you want, or Sensation Maple, you might want to get in on the first end of the sale.
Gonna see you tomorrow night. They're gonna have a real big, fun customer appreciation kind of a patio party, and we're looking forward to it 6 to 9 tomorrow night at Rock Creek Growers on the corner of Maxine Lane and Irene Streets in Kimberly. Karen, we'll see you then.
Okay. Have a good day, and we'll look forward to tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, Karen. God bless.
Bye-bye.
Really nice people, and we're looking forward to going over there. They just really have a good time. Let's ride. Yep, let's ride. Highway 24 between Rupert and Burley. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Get your engines going, yeah. I just had to do that. I had the urge. Anyway, let's ride where the fun is sold. Highway 24 between Rupert and Burley. Open 9 to 6, Tuesdays through Saturdays. And they now have in stock the great big, old boy, Can-Am Maverick Max 4-seater. That is going to be ripping fun. And great deals on Hondas until the end of the month. And they got all the watercraft. And they've got a great service department. Oh, they know what they're doing. At Let's Ride, Highway 24, between Rupert and Burley. You stop in and see them today, because that is where the fun is sold. Also, let me see real quick. What's going on at Golden Heritage Senior Center today? I got to check and see what they're going to have for goodies today. What is today? August 1st? Guess what? I don't have August 1st, do I? Chicken salad sandwiches. That's all you get is chicken salad sandwiches. Just go in there and enjoy your chicken salad. You might get a cookie or something with it, too. I don't know. I don't have the full entirety of the menu for today, August 1st, but I think I'm pretty close. Chicken salad sandwiches, I believe, is correct at the Golden Heritage Senior Center. And let's see, what else have I got here? I got to remind you about, Cameron and Siemens Insurance. Good heavens, how could I forget about those guys before we go to Dog Nation? When you think about life insurance, and when you think about health insurance, and when you think about retirement planning and employee benefits, let your mind not wander from these names. Cameron and Siemens Insurance. Dean and Todd can serve you. They are devoted to serving others and focused on your future. Call them, 436-4424. Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. Hey, who let the dogs out?
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
I'll tell you who let the dogs out. It was that doggone Ken Mort. He let the dogs out. How come you let the dogs out, Mort? What are you doing?
Just needing more work to do.
You mean round them up and then go get them again, huh?
Exactly. Ain't that what the cattle ranchers do?
I guess so.
Cows loose.
I guess so. Well, how you been, old buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, Zeb. How about yourself?
Well, not too shabby. And ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to the Minidoka Animal Control Specialist, Mr. Ken Mort. Good to have you on there. Give us, what do you got for puppy dogs today?
Well, today we're going to feature Sage. He is an Australian Shepherd cross. He is tan and white, between 1 to 2 years old. Really good on a leash. You put a leash on him, and he walks right next to you. He loads up into a truck all by himself. I mean, it's like somebody had worked with him on that as a cattle dog, because he seems to be good around cows. He's real friendly dog. I mean, he's kennel trained as well. I take him over to his kennel, and all I got to do is tap on the kennel and say kennel up, and he jumps right on in. I mean, he's just a beautiful dog, has blue eyes. I mean, the prettiest blue eyes I've ever seen. Makes you want to melt. But if anybody's interested in him, they can reach us at 438-2200, or can reach me on my cell phone at 670-7268.
Now, what kind of a dog did you say he was again?
He is an Australian Shepherd cross.
Ooh, nice dog.
Yeah, he's beautiful and just as friendly as I'll get out. I mean, I can open his kennel and leave the cage door open on it, and he will not come out until I put a leash on him or tell him to come on.
I'm the same way. Deanne's got me trained that way, too. I won't go outside unless she puts a leash on me.
Good job, Deanne. So, and also just wanted to give or touch bases with you on something else. We're planning on scheduling a ice cream social.
Yes.
We were looking at doing it this month, but we're going to wind up doing it next month. We've had some issues, or had some things come up, and that we're trying to get some dogs transported and everything. So we're going to reschedule for that first weekend in September. right after Labor Day weekend on that Saturday.
Okay.
And I'll have more information for you guys on that as soon as we get everything all put together.
Well, you know that on Dog Nation, we will cover that, and Gina and I will do it on the outside, too. We'll let everybody know so we can get over there and enjoy your ice cream social.
That sounds great. I mean, we're going to be having our Animal Control Board meeting this upcoming Tuesday evening on the 5th over at the Rupert City Hall, approximately 7 p.m. We're looking for people and stuff in that to show up and try to give us some support. Also, we're looking for donations or whatever we can get so that we can try to be able to start getting ourselves moved into a bigger facility. And I mean, and anything and everything will help us donation-wise.
All right. I'll tell you what, I've known this. This is probably embarrassing for you, but I've known Ken since he was an itty-bitty boy playing baseball for me when I was his coach, and he's a good guy. He's one of the good guys. Ken Mort, Minidoka Animal Control. Thanks, Ken. Appreciate it, and keep us informed as to what's going on.
Will do, Zeb, and thank you.
Hey, who let the dogs out?
Dogs out! Who let the dogs out?
There we go with Dog Nation. Ken Mort, Minidoka Animal Control. You better believe it. Appreciate it. Hey, we've got some more great sponsors to remind you about in regards to the Cassia County Fair and Rodeo, and they include the Burley Fairfield Inn and Suites by Marriott. Nice place. Did you hear what they're doing? Listen to this. They're located at 230 West 7th Street in North Burley, and if you need a break, oh, I like this. Whoo! Listen up, guys. A romance package at the Fairfield. A box of chocolates. Life is like a box of chocolates. A bottle of sparkling cider. A king-size suite. And a huge pool in the room to enjoy. Leave the kids with Granny and have a good time at the Burley Fairfield Inn and Suites by Marriott. How about Kelly's Bearing Supply, 1407 East Main in Burley? I'll tell you what, Kelly's Bearing Supply keeps everything on hand so you don't have to waste your time or money. Bearings, chains, brackets, Zach and Brett can help you. The bearing specialists at Kelly's Bearing Supply in Burley. And Fence Solutions at 2833 Overland in Burley, serving Southern Idaho since 2007, and they've got the best of premium vinyl fencing, decking, and porch railings. You give Corey a call today at 312-9275. Thank you for supporting the Cassia County Fair and Pro Rodeo. Oh, my goodness. Here she is, the lovely Rita Ramsey. At least I thought she was.
She always waits until the last minute. Then when she hears her name, she calls, and now she's on the phone and ready for
Do you mean to tell me she wasn't ready with that cue that I gave her just a moment ago? Shame on her. And now here she is for the second time. The lovely, you better be there this time, Rita Ramsey.
I just wanted to provide a little bit of anxiety there.
Don't do that on live radio, especially with a 65-year-old host that might have a flutter in his ticker.
How you doing?
I'm not bad, Rita. How are you? Well, that's a lie. I am absolutely incensed that we, the people, are being led by the government, by the nose, to believe and follow them literally over the cliff. What happened to the American ideal? What happened to people 270 years ago, our forefathers, that said enough is enough, and they just stood up to this doggone bureaucracy and government regulations, and they said enough, we're going to have America, land of the free, the home, and the brave. What happened to it?
People have got complacent, and they sit back and go, oh, there's really nothing I can do, or I'm too busy, I don't have time to do it, or I'll let somebody else do something, and meanwhile it's slipping away.
Okay, now you have to admit that you are a news junkie just like I am. I mean, I absolutely eat, sleep, and breathe the news. You must be very concerned about this administration with their terminology now, which has been commonplace with Obama and also Jay, the wonderful White House spokesperson that absolutely is about as bright as a burned-out light bulb, using the term phony scandals. When you first heard that, what was your feeling?
Well, when I first heard it, I thought, okay, President Obama, you are delusional. First of all, does he not remember that he had said about the IRS deal and anything else that, that was a big deal to them, and then the next thing that came along, that was a big deal, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's so many, we better start discrediting them. So they'll discredit all of them to see if they can cause a diversion away from what's really happening, and that's exactly what it is. And as long as they've got the mainstream media in their pocket, you know, they can do it, because people are going, oh, well, there must not have been anything about that, and they just go about their business instead of paying attention and saying what really happened there. I can't imagine people not being curious enough to say, you know, what's the real truth here? Do people not want to know?
Rita, I don't want to handle this with kid gloves, but you know as well as I do, if you say the word revolution, if you say anything about it's time that we the people took the power back to we the people, the government works for us, they all of a sudden they get, oh my goodness, he can't say that. Why, he's preaching anarchy. He's preaching insurrection in the streets. No, I'm not. What I'm saying is enough is enough. These doggone politicians, there's another word I wanted to use, but I didn't. They need to realize this is it, boys and girls. It's time to have you realize you work for us, the Pelosi's and the Boxers and the Reeds and the whole crew, the kit and caboodle back there have got to have an awakening that they are not in control.
Well, that's absolutely right, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because there are a couple of different things that are going on that would be proof that this is happening, but I think we're winning. I have a little, it's a half sheet of paper that has the definition of what is the Tea Party on it, and we have it at all of our Tea Party meetings, but I also like to pass it out so that if somebody doesn't really know what the Tea Party is, they can read it and understand. And it says, what is a Tea Party? The Tea Party movement is a grassroots movement of millions of like-minded Americans from all backgrounds and political parties. Tea Party members share similar core principles supporting the United States Constitution as the founders intended, such as limited federal government, individual freedoms, personal responsibility, free markets, returning political power to the states and the people. As a movement, the Tea Party is not a political party, nor is it looking to form a third political party anytime soon. The Tea Party movement is instead about reforming all political parties and government. We are on the verge of a lot of things happening which will defeat some of these things that are going down. They're trying to make light of. One of the things, Chris Matthews actually called out and labeled Ted Cruz, Senator Ted Cruz of Texas, a terrorist.
Oh, my.
Who looks and acts like Joe McCarthy. But, you know, if you really know what happened with Joe McCarthy, you'll say, well, in the end, it was Joe McCarthy who was right, because he called some senators, he said there are senators and congressmen that are actually communists in our Senate and Congress, and they just went all over the place. Yeah, you can't do that, ba-ba. Well, there were communists in there, and there are still some, and so for him to label Ted Cruz that, it's like, man, we're just gonna have to put a label on him, making him look like he's the bad guy.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, let's not gloss over the fact that Mike Simpson, our illustrious congressman, did the same to me and to Michelle Bachmann and everyone else that was very concerned about the appointments of Muslim Brotherhood members into Hillary's cabinet and administrative people to help her, and also into the cabinet of the United States. Why did Mike Simpson get away with calling us McCarthyists?
Because nobody stood up and said, you can't do that. But that's exactly what he did, and a number of others as well in the Congress and the Senate. And the big deal is they're afraid that somebody's going to start making them go back to the founding principles, which are the Constitution and those things that are important. Conservatives, they've turned unconservative, and they've gone off on the wrong track, and it's like now somebody's trying to pull them back, and it's like, no, you can't do that. You got to go our way. Well, you know what? I think we're making enough difference that they're starting name calling, and they're trying to discredit. And this deal about, it's a phony this and it's a phony that, and they don't have any credibility and everything else. It's because we are winning and we're making a difference, and we need to get a lot more people out there along with our voices and letting our Senate and Congress know that we're expecting them to band together with conservative Republicans and like defund Obamacare. That's the big thing right now. That's why why Chris Matthews was calling Ted Cruz a terrorist, is because he's on this deal saying, hey, we have got to defund Obamacare. It's the last time we're going to be able to do this, because if it goes into effect, we will never be able to get rid of it.
Okay, now, you and I have agreed almost 99% of the time, and we're probably going to agree on this. Rita, as of today, over the last few weeks as I look back in the radio media and the stories that we've used, I am embarrassed as to the lack of backbone, the lack of spine of the Republican Party. I have a lot of people say, well, you never pick on the Republicans, you only go after the Democrats. That's a lie. If I don't like somebody on either side of the aisle, I will report on that and give my opinions. In the whole right now, I will say that the Republican Party is spineless like a jellyfish, not doing the job to represent the people, and they're taking a stand of, oh, well, we'll let the Democrats hang themselves. We want to look like the good guys, and that's not going to work, and we're going to lose every election from now on until they show some John Wayne attitude. Do you agree or disagree?
I absolutely agree. And actually, earlier this week, I can't remember if it was Monday night or Tuesday night, when Greta Van Susteren interviewed Rush, she asked him various different questions, said, you know, what's the deal with, there's a battle for the Republican Party going on, and she says, well, you know, what's the deal with it? What's the deal? And his answer is that President Barack Obama is relishing the opportunity to put into play what the leftists have only dreamed about in faculty lounges for 50 to 75 years. I mean, there's a battle for the Republican Party going on. And sure, it would be a tough battle, but there's no other option. I mean, you don't want to go third party, just that ensures the Democrats they're a majority party forever. You don't want to do that. You have to go into the Republican Party and take it over. And he's talking about Tea Party people, real true conservatives, and those Republicans who are in the Republican Party who have gone left and progressive. They need to get straightened back out and go on the conservative side, or they're going to lose it. And they won't have any power anyway.
You know, here's the problem, and I don't know why I want to back up just a little bit and tell you what happened. And I don't know if you got one of these or not. But the most imbecilic advertising campaign for the Republican Party on a national level happened in the last couple of weeks. Many people in my audience got these. An envelope from the Republican Party saying in big black letters, past due.
Oh, I got one too.
And I don't know if you were offended or not, but I am. First of all, I don't want anything going through the mail with my name on it that says past due, that signifies to anybody and everybody that's picking up the mail, whether it's my mail carrier, whether it's the postmaster, whatever, oh, that deadbeat, he didn't pay a bill, past due. I think the Republicans absolutely shot themselves in the foot with the dumbest form of advertising and soliciting money by saying past due.
Well, I think that was pretty lame. I didn't think about it in that regard because I don't know, I wasn't thinking about it with them. It's just that when I looked at it, I said, if you think I'm giving you 10 cents, you're crazy, and I tossed it in the garbage.
Yeah, but when you get something in your mailbox like that, and people have seen that, honestly, I think it was a very, very low-class way of soliciting funding when you send somebody an envelope on the front that says past due. There's a lot of people that have a personality recognition with various names. Oh, well, Zeb didn't pay his bill. He's got something that says past due. I will never contribute just because of that envelope.
Well, I think that's a good point. I didn't think about it in that regard, so that is a good point.
All right, but where do we get the backbone? Where do you get somebody that's going to stand up and say enough is enough? I am so sick of politics in general. 83% of America hates Congress. They've got an approval rating down at 12 and 13%. Now, that is really bad.
Well, it is, but this is the deal, and this just happened to me earlier this week. I had a fellow come into our business, and he was getting some stuff, and he listens on the radio, and he, he's quite conservative, and he believes the same way that we do. But his comment was there's really nothing you can do, is there? So why do you keep doing it? And I said, well, as long as I can keep doing it, I'm going to stand on my soapbox because I feel like I have to. But there are people out there who they believe the same and everything else, but they won't get busy and help us. And it is really disheartening, especially to those of us who spend a lot of time and a lot of our grocery money trying to get the word out and get people to get involved so that we can save our country. But, I guess you get to a point where you can only do what you can do. And if people aren't willing to come to Tea Party meetings and learn, our biggest deal with Tea Party is that we want people to become knowledgeable about the various different issues that are out there. And they're not learning them if they're just sitting around, even if they're watching, say, for instance, they watch Fox or listen to talk radio. They're still not getting all the information that they really need. And they could learn and figure out how they can get active. It's going to take a band of us, a ton of us, just like in the Revolutionary War, to overcome the guys that are in the red coats.
I agree.
And they're in the blue coats.
I agree. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Zep, did that thing come with a return envelope?
Yeah, well, the thing is, they want you to help solicit funds for the party and the party ideal, but they're not going to get one dime from me because of the absolute brazen attack on my personality. I took it as an attack on my personality by saying past due on the envelope, and I will not contribute, and I'm going to damn them for very slovenly advertising.
Well, the thing you need to do, and I get everybody else to do it as well, is put a note in there that says when you start doing what you were sent back there to do, then you can send me another envelope.
There you go. There you go. And Kilt Man, I don't know what your stand is on this, but there's no moxie, there's no backbone, there's no standing up for the rights of the people. It's kind of we'll go along to get along. I don't want those kind of politicians.
No, this side has done this so long that we are so far behind the eight ball at this point. The only way we can play catch up is clean house and start fresh. I
agree. And your comments and opinion are always valuable. Stop in and see us sometime, man. We appreciate you.
My friend.
Thank you. Rita, I'm fed up with it. I got to admit that I'm not going to be friendly to any of them. And I said earlier that Mike Simpson needs this program. Mike Simpson needs the constituents that listen to this program, and I'm not going to chase after Mike Simpson. There are people that say, well, why don't you get him on the air? Why don't you have him reposition himself as far as what he said about the Michelle Bachmann issue and about the McCarthyists and about you? I said, no, I'm not going to chase him anymore. I've always been the dog chasing the parked car, inviting these people on the program. Rita, they've got to take the responsibility that when they're running for public office and want to solicit everybody's vote, they'd better get up off the couch and make sure that they contact us.
Well, absolutely. And right now and in the past, I think that Mike Simpson has felt like, there's a little yappy dog barking at me, but he's just a little tiny thing, and he's just kind of nipping at my ankles, and I'm not going to worry about him until he starts nipping at my behind. And once somebody gets serious enough and becomes a competitive issue for him, he's going to just think that he's got it made. And so what needs to happen is that fellow in Idaho Falls that is banding together a political run, he needs to start nipping at his tail end that would make Mike Simpson say, uh-oh, and then he's going to have to come to you and many other places and start listing his positions and answering questions. And if he wants to get a hold of anybody, especially you, he's going to have to take it seriously. But right now it's kind of like, they'll just send me again. I don't need to worry about it.
That's exactly right. You've hit the nail right on the head. Rita, I've got to have a quick update with MichaelRogersWeather.com. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Don't go away. Here's Michael.
Hey,
everybody, Michael Rogers for MichaelRogersWeather.com. You see that lightning show last night? The great thing about lightning, guess what? When you get lightning in the Magic Valley like that, it's free of charge. 92 for the high today. A lot of sun, very little clouds. 57 for the overnight low. Enjoy the weather. It's the only weather you got.
There you go, MichaelRogersWeather.com. Thank you very much. Rita, I've got to ask a question. Do you feel that you have been nudged?
Yeah, quite a bit actually.
Okay. Did you hear about this deal with Cass Sunstein? Have you been following this?
Well, I haven't paid attention to him recently. What are you referring to?
Here's what I'm referring to. Nudging is a word, and it's the title of a book that was written by Cass Sunstein. And you know Cass Sunstein with the Obama administration, a very insidious and dark individual. But nudging is the policy of thought and mind control from the government to do as they want you to do. And it tells us how we should live, and it doesn't give us personal choices. It tells how we as a group should live for the benefit of everybody on the global atmosphere. It modifies our behavior, and it's very subtle, but this morning I heard that the book by Cass Sunstein called Nudging is going to be really put into play over the next 3 years of the Obama administration to coerce and force people to have mind control by the government.
You're exactly right, and that's why the comment that Rush made about leftists having dreamed about these kinds of things in faculty lounges is actually coming to fruition. Cass Sunstein has written so many executive orders and so many regulations and stuff that he is nonstop doing this, and the only way he can get these things going is if they can nudge people in a little bit here and there. I actually had 2 or 3 things I was going to talk about regarding that. I saw one article this morning that said another NSA spy program compiling, quote, nearly everything a user does on the Internet. So the NSA spy program, it is real and it is out there, and they, even though they say, oh no, we're not going to take your information and go through it and anything else. No, they might not be going to go through it right now, but all they'll have to do is look for the one thing that they need to. And that one thing could have been something similar to the IRS deal. There was also an article this morning that said, do these emails between the IRS and the FEC suggest collusion in targeting conservative groups? You're darn right they do. And that's what they've been doing, and that's what they're going to do. And they're trying to compile it all together. If they've got it in big computers in this, in storage and stuff, all they have to do is go, oh, let's see what Rita Ramsey's been doing. We need to target her a little bit. And they'll do it one way or the other. It's just like there was 2 weeks ago, I took an article off of the of one of the news websites, and it was about the reason why this Army vet couldn't own a gun, and it was back in 1993 he had served 20 years in the Army, and so that he's been out for 20 years. 40 years ago, he had a felony charge. Mm-hmm. Or it wasn't a felony, it actually became a deal. It was just that a pot violation from high school. Right. And they wouldn't let him buy a gun. He was a veteran.
Yeah. The hypocrisy and the complete animosity this administration shows towards the American public is absolutely astounding, and I'm very scared of a person like Cass Sunstein. I'm very worried about an insidious government. And one other thing I didn't get a chance to ask you about here real quick, and I've only got 2 minutes left, so make this answer very short. What are your thoughts about what they're doing with CNN interviewing one of the killers at Benghazi, but our own FBI can't find them?
Well, I hope that's the real story, because there was one FBI guy on last night that said, no, that's not the case. You don't know the whole story. And yet, if CNN's actually interviewing somebody, why has the government not taken him into custody or had them in custody? Or maybe they do and they're watching him really close so that they can, get some of his accomplices or something. I don't know. It just makes me sick to think that they can do that, and if nothing is actually happening, that's sad.
Okay, now, Tea Party, when's your next meeting? Tell us about it real quick.
Our next meeting is 1 week from tonight at the City Hall, and we're going to have it at 7 o'clock like we usually do. We're going to be going over the various different activities that are going on and what's happening. There's been a lot of issues, popping up here and there. And then the week after that, we are having the Liberty Summit. And so we would like to invite anyone to come to our Tea Party meeting and to the Liberty Summit. The only way that you're going to gain knowledge so that you have some kind of a way to battle against all of these forces that are coming down is to meet with like-minded people, learn some of the information, and have the knowledge which equals power for you to do something.
All right. Rita Ramsey, always welcome on our program on Thursday mornings. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend, Rita. See you next Thursday.
Okay, thanks, Zeb. Bye.
Bye-bye. Wonderful lady right there. Oh, my. This is really true this morning, folks. I didn't eat hardly anything yesterday. Starved myself to death. Oh, starving to death. That is a good title for the wonderful restaurants around the area. If you're hungry and starving to death like I am, you should stop in and see Burgers, etc. 700 North Overland in Burley and 124 South Oneida in Rupert. Two great locations. They've got an August special that's going to start after Friday this week. Mushroom burgers after 3 p.m. for only $3.99. Oh, and add a soda and fries for just a little bit extra cost. It's going to be absolutely wonderful at Burgers, etc. 700 North Overland in Burley and 124 South Oneida in Rupert. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move on over to Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland in Burley. They've got a chicken strip salad. Good. Really good. And they've got a machine that makes a grilled chicken bacon ranch quesadilla. That is delicious. And bandito burritos and macho burritos and chimichangas, all of this and much, much more at Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland Avenue in Burley. Want to take a road trip? We're headed out to the Cattle Country Steakhouse at 420 North Main in Malda. Open 11 to 9, Tuesdays through Saturdays with that triple bacon cheeseburger. I want to get out there and sink my grinners into that puppy. It sounds really good. And they got prime rib specials every Friday and Saturday night, and chicken fried steaks and grilled salmon and grilled halibut. Oh, yeah. Cattle Country Steakhouse, 420 North Main in Malda. And now, back over to Heyburn, Steve-O's, 290 South, 600 West of Heyburn, and they've got fresh-cut Idaho French fries and hand-patted hamburger patties made daily with love. And they've got steaks and chicken and seafood in a vegetarian menu, and they've got all kinds of great things over there. Music on the patio every Friday and Saturday evening, 6:30 to 9. You can enjoy dining at its best and great music at Steve-O's in Heyburn. And now, ladies and gentlemen, also, let's move back over to the AC Drive-In, 601 East Main in Burley. Oh, my. Ice cream! You got to have ice cream, and they make all the different milkshakes and everything, all the flavors, and they've got cheese sticks and finger steaks, and they've got chicken fillet sandwiches and Farmer Brown burgers. Ho, 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 ho. It's delicious! You stop in today at 601 East Main in Burley, the AC Drive-In, and those are just a few great places to go when you're hungry and starving to death. You be sure and stop in and see those great folks today. Gina, what's going on over at the studio this morning?
Nothing.
Now, don't go pulling that one-word routine with me. You've been in the radio business long enough, and I know you put a quarter in you and you'll talk for 2 hours. Now, come on.
Okay, you really want to know? I painted the barn. I fixed my nails. I ate some breakfast. I've been doing some commercial uploads and, just stuff.
So I love that slogan, paint the barn. That is that's phenomenal. I love that.
Yeah, and it looks pretty good today, too, and the nails look pretty darn good, too.
We have to run to town right after the program, and today is Deanne's day. Anything and everything she wants to do, anywhere she wants to go.
Is it her birthday today?
No, I'm just trying to be a nice guy.
Well, look at you go, because every once in a while, Deanne needs a day.
Well, yeah, but you know, she treats me like a king and does so much for me. How in the world could I not give her a day?
Amen. You need to. At least once a week.
And boy, honey, I'm paying for it too.
I'm sure you are.
I'll be back in about 6 minutes. Don't go away. I just get a notice on my cell phone, and it says, Lost ABC News, it's yours, Buckwheat. I'm back, and I never had a chance to finish what I was doing, but that's okay. I'll stay here and ride out the storm. Thank you very much. Zeb Bell back here at Zeb at the Ranch with our major sponsor. You're loving this, Gina, I know you are. With our major sponsor, your Magic Valley. Pardon me.
I said, truly, I am.
You ain't never seen a fat boy move like I did. Anyway.
I was kind of wondering.
Yeah, I bet you were wondering. Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations, serving you, along with some of our great friends like Western Waste Services, always at your disposal. Get on the route service today. Get rid of your garbage, 734-6969. And also our friends at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More. And ladies and gentlemen, with the great capabilities of communication skills like we possess, here now is Mr. Brent Lee.
Well, Zeb, I guess you're going to have to take a plan B. This is Jeff speaking today.
Ladies and gentlemen, with our great communication skills, here is plan B.
That's right. How are you, Zeb?
I'm good, buddy. What's going on?
Well, we have a number of great specials that we'd like to share with your listeners today.
Okay.
As you know, right now is a great opportunity. We'd like to invite customers to come in. We've got some pre-fair specials going right now that I'd like to share. Right now, I'm sure that there's many people out there who are working hard, getting ready for harvest, looking for a new mattress. And one of our best offers that we've got right now, Zeb, we have a queen-size mattress box set, a deluxe pocketed coil, a regular price for this set, $11.99. I still have half a dozen left. They're only $5.99. And these are mattresses with 10-year warranty. They're wonderful. So I'd like to invite anybody who is not sleeping well, having long days, come home, not looking forward to going to bed because they're uncomfortable. This would be a perfect solution for that.
Absolutely. Man, I tell you what, comfort, beautification of your home, it's all there at Lee's Furniture.
That's right. And also, Zeb, as you know, and we've discussed in the times past, we carry the largest inventory of floor covering in stock. We have on sale right now carpet, vinyl, laminate flooring, tile, hardwood, anything that you could possibly need. And right now, if you come into the store, we have a number of new roll specials that have just arrived, starting at only $8.95 a yard. So if you're considering doing any home improvement projects, maybe you're selling the home, you want to refresh the floor covering, maybe in preparation for school starting, you want to redo the rooms, put new carpet in, this is a fantastic opportunity to take advantage of the discounted prices that we have, Zeb.
And meet all the nice people down there, so knowledgeable about everything in the store. I'll tell you, Jeff, you do a great job. And where's Brent? Is he swimming someplace?
Well, I'm not sure where he is, but he better get back before we sell everything out of the store.
There you go. And that's, of course, Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More at 459 Oberlin and Burley. Everything for you. Jeff, great job today. Have a wonderful day, and we'll look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you, Zeb. We appreciate it very much.
All right, God bless. Thank you. Nice people over there at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More. I got to get Gina on the phone. What happened? Did ABC News just kind of go and it's gone?
Yeah, we just kind of dropped it, and I'm like, I'm getting Eddie on the phone.
Oh, okay. Is that a cue for me?
Belto, yeah. Yes, it is a cue for you because I'm kind of doing a couple things here all at the same time, but I don't know what happened to ABC News. It was just like right in the middle of the newscast, and boop, it went, and I'm like, waiting.
Boop.
Waiting.
Boop.
Waiting. Boop. Whoop. Yep.
Okay. I'll do a commercial, and you can have just a little relaxation.
Thank you.
There, you're welcome. The Chadwick Sports Grill, 139 West Main in Burley. Oh, my. Have they got some great specials for you over there? Yes, they've got luncheon specials for $5.95. I can't believe it. And then they've got a senior special starting at 4 to 6 p.m. in the afternoon, Monday through Thursday. And listen to what they're going to have today. They're going to have shepherd's pie with super salad, and it is delicious. And listen to this. Saturday night, August 3rd, this weekend, they're going to have live music with Vern Willard at 8:30 p.m. Oh, you better get in there. Chadwick Sports Grill, 139 West Main in Burley. Really, really nice people. And now, without further ado, we say good morning to the lovely Eddie Gallegos with Idaho Lending Group, 1182 Eastland Drive North in Twin Falls, 734-5626, NMLS number 181777, Equal Opportunity Lender. And with all that being said, good morning, Eddie.
Good morning, Zeb. How are you?
I am fantabulous, and thank you for coming on our program this morning. And we're going to be talking about a subject that I think should interest a lot of people, and that is, should I own a home or should I rent a home? How would you address that question?
You know, buying a home versus renting is a huge decision. It's probably one of the biggest decisions that you can make in your life. And it does take a lot of careful consideration. But when you look at the big picture, the rewards of home ownership are so great. And so just a few key things to look at. Of course, any landlord is probably going to advise you that renting is potentially a good thing for you because you're helping them make their mortgage payment.
Mm-hmm.
So it is definitely something that they're gaining from, and they, I'm sure, would advise many people that it is a positive thing for them. However, when you look at the overall picture, it really can be something that benefits you as an individual by owning a home instead of renting.
Right. And really, when you talk...
A little scenario for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're paying $1,000 per month for a home or an apartment, renting it, and you know that your rent's going to increase by about 5% every year, over the next 5 years, if you continue to rent that property, you're going to pay over $66,000 to that landlord. And you will have nothing to show from it. That's a huge dollar amount.
Absolutely.
And so when you look at buying a house, you could have that going into your home and actually have equity in your own home by buying a house.
Absolutely.
So some of the things that you want to look at when you're considering renting or buying, what are your goals? You know, if your goal is to only live in a house for a couple of years, I still say home ownership is the best thing to go with as long as you buy smart and you're prepared to sell smart. So you want to look at location. Is it going to be a property that you potentially can rent out when you're done using it as a primary residence? But something to always consider on that short-term thought is you need to make your money work for you. So you want to look at that property as an investment, something that's going to help you in the future. If your long-term goal is to find a home to raise your family in, then of course, once again, home ownership is definitely the way to go because it creates financial stability. It gives you that place to raise your family, and it gives you the pride of home ownership, and it helps your credit to have a mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
So there are just so many benefits out there that outweigh renting by owning your own home.
And Eddie, talk a little bit about the difference in cost. I mean, you've touched on it, but I want you to elaborate on it a little bit. People think that, oh, well, it's cheaper to rent, and you already said, no, when you look at the 10-year or the per-year increase in rent on a percentage basis, why don't they just get all their ducks in a row, find out about what they qualify for, and they would be amazed as to home ownership would beat rental almost 9 times out of 10.
It would. I mean, when you look at that $66,000, I mean, think about all of the things that you could do with $66,000. That landlord is getting that benefit from it, and you are walking away from that money. There is no way that any of us would take $66,000 and walk away from it. But basically, when you're renting, that's what you're doing. You're giving someone else your money to use for their benefit, and you're not really getting any benefit when you have the opportunity. There are other avenues that you can use that money to have such a huge benefit. The other thing is that you typically, I'm not a tax advisor, but typically you can talk to your tax specialist about utilizing the interest that you're paying on your mortgage to help you as a tax deduction. And so a lot of times you do get a tax benefit there. And, you know, really right now, if there's any time to buy, it is right now. Because home values are still low. They're going up, which is great for the economy, but it still is somewhat of a buyer's market. And you don't want to miss out on the opportunity to purchase those homes while the values are low. And you can gain equity just by what the value is going to increase naturally over the next few years.
Absolutely. And, you know, there's one other point, too, and it was on this little cheat sheet that you sent me, and it's a very, very valid point. You never know in a rental situation if you're going to be able to renew the rent or your lease. And by having home ownership, nobody is going to tell you what to do but you yourself.
That's exactly right. You have that stability and your own space and your own privacy that it is your property to do what you want to with it. You never know when a landlord may default on their mortgage, that they may decide to sell the property. And so you just really, you're not in a situation where from month to month, basically, you don't know for sure that you're guaranteed that property.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, you can tell by this young lady and her knowledge that you had better get a hold of Idaho Lending Group today at 1182 Eastland Drive North in Twin Falls. Number to call, 734-5626. They helped me with the refinancing of our mortgage and saved me literally thousands of dollars. They're very caring, courteous, and knowledgeable, and ask for Eddie Gallegos. What a nice lady at Idaho Lending Group, 734-5626. Eddie, God's blessings. Have a wonderful weekend, okay?
Thank you. You too, Zeb.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye. Very, very nice people at Idaho Lending Group in Twin Falls, 1182 Eastland Drive North. Oh, my. Let me catch up here for a minute. Oh, you've heard me say this before on the program already this morning, but I want to reiterate. When those door-to-door salespeople, those annoying people, knock, 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 who's there? Oh, I'm here to save you a lot of money on Dish or DirecTV. No, they're not. They're going to try to twist things and switch you to another service, and then, boop, they're gone, and you're stuck. I'll tell you what, and even some of those people might say they're associated with Quali's Electronics. Not true. Not true. Not true. I know Quali's Electronics, and they work right out of their location at 1730 Kimberly Road in Twin Falls, and the number to call is 733-4910. They can explore the options and serve you best with either Dish and DirecTV and save you money, and they install it and provide the local service that you need. Quali's Electronics, 1730 Kimberly Road in Twin Falls. Okay? Now, let me see, I got that done, and I got to run over here, and I got to quickly say the Jerome County Fair. Oh my, the Jerome County Fair is next week, and they are going to have so doggone much fun. I was over there last night at the fairgrounds, and I went to a team roping, and they're getting all ready, and their theme this year is Say Cheese at the Jerome County Fair. They're going to have a big PRCA rodeo, and they're going to, don't miss the Mud Bogs. It's a brand new event this year, and I think it's going to be on the 10th, Saturday the 10th. It's going to be brand new at the Depew Arena at 6 p.m. Mud Bogs. Oh, that's going to get down and dirty. And they're going to have all the 4-H buildings and livestock showings, and like I already said, the PRCA rodeo and pig wrestling. You don't want to miss a minute of the Jerome County Fair and Rodeo next week, the 6th through the 10th. Say cheese at the Jerome County Fair. Well, look what time it is. It's time to go over to Vicky's Country Gardens at 185 South, 600 West of Paul. Number to call, 438-5663. And here now, the lovely, very shy and retiring Miss Vicky. Good morning.
I'm waiting for her to call in. She's taken the day off, and she has an alarm set on her cell phone to call in at specifically at 10:20. So you've got 2 minutes to kill before she calls.
Okay, let's do a little shoe tap dance, shall we?
Sure.
Way down upon the Swanee River. What are you going to do this weekend?
I think I'm going to be doing a disc golf tournament up at Pomerelle.
You're going to be in a golf tournament?
No, Frisbee golf.
Oh, Frisbee golf.
Yeah.
Now, I have never played Frisbee golf.
Well, it's the same premises, regular golf. You throw a Frisbee, and you have to try and hit a designated goal, which is like a basket that's hanging, on or near a tree or on a post, and the goal is to get your Frisbee to the bucket, as it were, in as many or as few tosses as possible.
Now, wait a minute. You got to stick a Frisbee in a basket?
Yes, or at least you have to hit it.
You have to hit it or stick it in there?
Hit it in it, yes.
I'd be a long time on that course.
You know what? I'm going to be forever on there, too, and I'm probably going to have a huge handicap, but that's okay.
Well, now, Frisbee golf, is this a new innovative sport? Is it something that's going to qualify for the Olympics? What's going on here?
If they're taking out wrestling, probably so.
They're taking out my wrestling? What is wrestling is basically one of the nucleus sports of the Olympics.
Hello, they were doing it since the inception of it, and so, I guess they decided, this last year, that wrestling is no longer going to be a sanctioned Olympics.
Pretty soon they're going to say the running events aren't part of the Olympics either, so they'll put in tiddlywinks.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what is it? Badminton is in there.
Oh, wow. Ooh. Boy, there's a sport that I can't wait to watch on ABC Wide World of Sports.
I know. Vicky's on the line for you now.
I'll bet she is. And I'll bet she's just chomping on the bit to give us all the information necessary. And I lost all of her questions. Deanne, I had them right here in my hand. I'm old, and I can't... Oh, there they are. Hello, Miss Vicky at Vicky's Country Gardens. How are you?
Good morning, Zeb. It's a beautiful summer morning.
It is a beautiful summer morning, and Mr. Roberts isn't wearing a sweatshirt or a sweater, and he's taking off his leather shoes and putting on his sneakers. Everybody is in happy land this morning. What about our zucchini? Our zucchini is turning yellow and drying up. Is that bad?
The zucchini plant? Or the zucchinis themselves?
The zucchinis themselves. They're really starting to look ugly.
All right, so they're setting on, and then they're just not finishing out. They're not growing out.
No.
Okay, they probably picked up, like everything else has, a little touch of fungus, a little bit of a blight.
A fungus among us?
And your zucchini, yes.
Holy.
It's in everything. I've decided this year it's going to be everywhere. I just tell people, just get your fungicide ready and just fungicide the whole flipping garden. Just do the whole thing. Don't stop at any point.
Really? I got to tell you something that happened the other night, and I am going to now make this a personal vendetta that I am going, and for those of you out in the audience that are upset when I say this, so be it. I'm going to kill, maim, and slaughter every vole I can find. They have taken a patch of ground, Vicky, probably 30 feet by 35 feet, out by my barn. It's not safe for me to walk out there anymore because I keep stepping and falling in the holes.
Yeah, they're dangerous, those things are. Like for your area there, especially if they get in your arena, I mean, it's very, very scary for horses and that.
Yeah.
And that type of thing. But did you ever try, like using the either the propane or using the exhaust fumes?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I am going to be employing this weekend many different facets of fun frivolity to get rid of these pesky varmints, and water and propane, and I'm going to be just like that TV show Caddyshack, or the movie Caddyshack. We're going to blow them to bits.
There you go. Water doesn't necessarily work because all they do is run ahead of it.
Oh, really?
And then they come back in. You've got to have something, like I say, the gas, like from the exhaust and that type of thing that's actually going to kill them.
Okay.
I have friends of mine that have tried the water route, and They just come up in a different place.
Okay. Now, what about my tomato?
Use either the propane or the, either that or use, like I say, a four-wheeler, an exhaust type situation. That's going to penetrate a lot further and it doesn't take a whole lot of that. They're a fairly small critter, so it doesn't take a whole lot of it to wipe them out.
Okay, so if I stick an exhaust hose into one of the holes, I can relish in the fact that I'm going to deplete the neighborhood.
Well, you're going to get rid of them in a good area there, yeah. And let it run but block it, so, pile dirt around it so that the exhaust can't come back out.
Okay.
So it has to penetrate down through those holes. Through those tunnels.
I'm going to have fun this weekend. Hey, another thing, too, on the tomatoes, what are those black spots?
The black spots on the tomatoes?
Yeah.
Probably either... If they're like a rounded spot, a big, like the size of a pea, in that it could be if you've got blight in your tomatoes, it'll show, if it's on the plant, it'll show on the tomatoes a lot of times too. If it's on the end of the tomato, the black spot on the end of the tomato, then that's blossom end rot.
Oh, okay.
And that's a calcium deficiency that has to be corrected.
Okay.
But if it just spots all over the tomato, that can be a couple of things. It can be wasps that have come in and penetrate and hit them and bruise them just a little bit, or it can be if your tomato vines are looking iffy and they're kind of dark and getting black spots on the leaves and things of that nature, then there again, that's a fungus. So that's why I say just for preventative measures, just rig up with some good garden fungicide and just go out of an evening about every 5 to 7 days and just fungicide the whole garden and just keep it out of there.
Do gardens still need to be fertilized at this time of the summer?
Right now they need fertilizer probably more than ever because now they're setting their fruit on and they need that. They've utilized a lot of what's in the ground. So yes, this is an excellent time, especially like for corn. Anywhere from the middle of July into August is a real good time to go out and side dress your corn and get it, put the fertilizer down on it and let the water take it to it. You'll see the corn take off and grow again. Most corn, if it hasn't been fertilized good, is kind of standing still right now, not doing a whole lot of growing upwards. So this is an excellent time, to get out and get your whole garden, give it a good dose of fertilizer.
Okay, now another lady wrote in with a question, and she said, because it's been so hot and dry, she's been watering her trees every day, and they still look kind of wilty. How can I save my trees?
Just be careful, because they can look wilty from too much water also.
Oh.
You can get in just as much trouble or more with too much water as you can with not enough. Plants will survive on not, if they're getting smaller amounts. Just because it's really hot, it depends on your ground. Dig down around, if they're new trees, dig down around those trees a couple of 3 inches before you water and see what your ground moisture is doing. If you can take a little handful of that dirt and squeeze it hard and it forms a nice moist clump, you've got enough moisture. You don't need to water today.
Okay.
If you can't make it drip together, then it's needing moisture.
All right.
That's an old farmer trick.
There you go. Now, tell me, what's going on? You got the Fertilome products over there, and give us any specials. Just kind of give us a recap as to what's going on over there.
Well, right now we're running our perennials. We're doing 20% off of all of our perennials. We've got roses at 25% off, I believe. And, of course, then whatever, the 4-packs and that are all down to like 50 cents a 4-pack, just kind of clearing some of that kind of stuff out. But we do have the perennials and that all starting to go on sale. Got a lot of nice perennials ready to go out in people's yards. Not a problem there. Main thing we're doing right now for me is we're into fair time, and I love fair time. It's a great time of year for everybody, and just wanting to invite everybody out to the Minidoka County Fair. Support our kids, go out and watch them with their animals and stuff, and we'd sure love to have everybody show up for our fat stock sale on Saturday morning.
Man, that was well said. This is a nice lady. You really got to get to meet her. Vicki at Vicky's Country Gardens, 185 South, 600 West of Paul, 438-5663. Vicki, just have a wonderful weekend, okay?
Oh, I will. I get to be at the fair with all the kids. It's going to be a ball. I love it out there. So
all right.
See you out there, Zeb.
All right. God bless. Have a good one. Thank you so much. What a nice lady. Vicki at Vicky's Country Gardens, thank you very much. Okay, let's see. Now, we've got a break coming up in just a minute or so, and then we're going to come back. And next half hour, we're going to be talking to the head of the Idaho Recreation Council, and that is, of course, Sandra Mitchell. And she is a very well-informed person as far as what's going on and what the government's trying to do to take things away from us, so we're looking forward to that. I want to remind you that next week on the program, let me take a look at August. We're going to shoot right into August. We're going to have, of course, many of the folks that are connected to the various fairs, the Jerome County Fair and the Cassia County Fair. And also on Monday, we are scheduled at 10:30 in the morning to have Brian Smith from Idaho Falls, and he's running against Congressman Mike Simpson. I know I had a lot of people call and ask me about that. That's going to be on Monday. I'm going to send it back over to our main studios and then be ready to go with Sandra Mitchell with the Idaho Recreation Council. Don't go away. I won't either. I'll stay right here.
And now back to Zeb at the Ranch on AM 1230 KBAR. To reach Zeb, call 436-2244 or toll free 1-866-927-4587. And now, here is Zeb Bell.
Oh, thank you. Hey, don't forget the Cassia County Fair. It's coming up in a couple of weeks, and it is going to be a dandy. Why? Because they have booked Aaron Tippin as their concert guest. It's going to be fantastic. This guy's one of the greatest in country music, and I love his songs. I mean, he really tells it like it is, especially with songs like You Gotta Stand for Something, and just wonderful music. You're going to love Aaron Tippin at the Cassia County Fair on Tuesday, August 13th, and showtime will be 8 p.m. right there in the Rodeo Arena. Going to be a good one. Get your tickets now, Cassia County Fair office, 678-9150, or stop in person at the office at 1101 Elba Avenue in Burley. Aaron Tippin, good music at the Cassia County Fair and Pro Rodeo. Let's go to the phone lines right now, and I've learned maybe I better check with Gina first and see if our lovely guest Sandra Mitchell is on the phone.
Yes, she is.
Oh, thank you, Gina. Thank you. Good morning, Sandra Mitchell with the Idaho Recreation Council. What's going on in your world today?
Oh, absolutely nothing. Nothing. We've won all the battles. We've secured all the public lands. Things are really good.
Sandra, sit down, take 2 aspirins, and call me in the morning.
Things are challenging. But as my dear mother always said, if it were easy, everybody else would be doing it. So I guess things are probably progressing along fairly normally. But there's certainly a lot of issues out there and a lot of challenges, and most importantly, there's a lot of reasons why people need to get involved and to care and to do something.
Okay, stop right there, because there you have nailed the proverbial hammer to the nail and tried to drive it through the wood. How do we get people to get up off the couch, put down the bonbons, turn off Oprah, and go get involved and save our America?
I am finding that one of the ways to accomplish that end is to understand that we ask people to do something, and I think it's overwhelming. It's like, what? I don't know. And they feel like they're going to have to give up their lives, their reputations, their security, their family, and go to war somewhere against someone, and they don't even know who they're fighting. And so I explain to people that we're not asking everybody to do everything. We're just asking everybody to do something, to make some contribution to the effort to secure Idaho, to make this state the best state it can be, this country the best country it can be, that we all have to contribute in some way to make that happen.
Okay, well, let's get right to the crux of this. What are, in case people have been living under a rock up on a mountain someplace, what are some of the battles that we need people to get involved in and just say, hey, bureaucracy, enough is enough?
Well, and I think that's kind of the umbrella. I think we need to start smaller than that with folks. We need to have them look at their lives and determine what drives them, what is their passion, what do they care most about. And they need to pick those issues and get involved in those issues, whether that be a social issue or whether it be a financial issue. They have a financial issue in this state and they're worried about budgets and taxes, or if they recreate and they use the public lands, they need to say, you know what, that's my issue, that's my passion, how do I get involved in those issues? And the way you get in those issues, the way you get involved in those issues is to get involved with an organization, a club, an association, a group that can help you find the way and keep you going in the right direction and provide you the information you need so that you can be involved.
I totally agree with you. And you know, right now, I don't think I've ever in my lifetime have seen and or are witnessing more encroachment by government and bureaucracy to literally shut us out of our own use here on our public lands, not only here in the state of Idaho, but all across the United States. I think it's critical right now. We've got to stop and fight these people because there's a movement, Agenda 21 and bureaucracy itself, trying to just stop us from doing anything.
That's very true. And the really sad part of all of this, in my opinion, is the fact that the laws on the book benefit those who are trying to keep us off the public lands. Whether you want to be there to make a living, whether you graze, whether you log, whether you mine, or for those of us who recreate out there, the laws work for the other side. They work against us. And most of those laws were passed in the 70s. And they're just seriously bad pieces of legislation. And in as hard and as many attempts as there have been to fix them, to amend them, to eliminate them, we've not been successful. And until we get to that point, and the hope is that we will take back the Senate, we'll take back the House with conservative, with right-thinking people who will go in and amend the ESA law, change a number of laws. We simply have to be involved in the process. Because if we're not involved with the process, the other side is those who prefer the public lands to be unused by those who like motors or who want to do any kind of extraction or, you know, graze. They're involved. Then they win by default. And I don't know about you, but I don't like losing by default.
You know,
if I'm going to lose, it's only going to be after I gave him the best fight I knew how to give him.
Amen. But there again, therein lies the problem. We're looking at all these insidious groups, the Sierra Club and the Friends of Wildlife and all this kind of garbage, and the environmental groups and the animal liberation groups, etc. And they seem to have unlimited pockets of money, unlimited resources, and they're just pushing things through. And at this current time, they have a very willing and able administration with Obama and his henchmen that absolutely are bending their way. So how do we fight this? I'm willing to get in the battle anytime, any place, and just tell me how. Tell me, fearless leader, what do you want me to pick up and run at them?
First of all, a lot of that is true, and they do have a lot of money. But when we're talking Idaho, they don't have the numbers. We have the numbers. We just have to figure out a way to get people involved and to get them to care enough to do something, to be involved. And it is amazing to me. And I've been doing this particular job for 21 years, and before that, I worked for the United States Senate and the U.S. House, and I will tell you that it is amazing what motivated people can do, the difference they can make. It is astounding, it is awe-inspiring, and we can be successful. We know how to be successful. We are successful in many, many ways, in many of our fights, in many of our endeavors. Just as a classic example, look at Lake Lowell. And there's a wonderful example. Wildlife refuge, the law says they can eliminate all the uses that aren't wildlife dependent, and they made an attempt to do that. But the people got involved. They got the delegation involved. They got the local governments involved. They stood up. They held rallies. They wrote letters. They went to meetings. And the plan came back, and it was, if not 80%, or not 90%, 80% better.
Mm-hmm.
And we still have some issues at stake, and those issues are going to be litigated, and thanks to the fine county commissioners of Canyon County, it will be litigated, and we'll get to the bottom of it. But we changed it. We made a difference. In spite of bad law, in spite of opposition, in spite of an agency determined to get rid of many of the uses, we changed it. We can and are successful many times. It just takes people being involved. And if it's nothing more than if you care about access to the public lands, contact the Idaho Recreation Council, sign up, be on our email list so we can send you alerts when we need you to write letters or make phone calls. You'll know about it and you can do it.
Absolutely.
That's simple and one of the most important things you can do.
Waving a statement at me like this is like waving a red cape at a Spanish fighting bull. When they say something like, oh, well, we have to preserve this for future generations. And anybody with the half of a mind of a twit can understand that that means lock it up forever. Nobody's ever going to see it again, right?
Well, it often means that, I can assure you. And we use the same language, though. We say preserve access for this and future generations. We've used that language. We use it, and we're being completely honest. I heard a story one time, and it was something that motivates me to this day. We were involved over an issue in a wilderness in the Boulder White Cloud Mountains, and a lady by the name of Ann Liebman-Good was telling me that she used to sit around campfires when she was a dirt motorcycle rider. When they first started, they'd sit around campfires with old-timers, people who'd been riding, 15, 20 years before them. And these people would tell them about the places that they used to ride. And Ann said, it motivated me to say, I don't want to sit around a campground and tell my grandkids where I rode. I want to show my grandkids where I rode. And that's true. We need to protect this for the next generation, and then the next generation is obligated to protect it for the next generation. But that's our responsibility, and we can't let them down, because if we let them down, they're not going to know the joy and experience what we've experienced and see what we've seen.
Absolutely.
It's up to us.
Let me ask you this, Sandra. You mentioned Lake Lowell on a couple of occasions, but there are many other sites, if you will, around the state of Idaho that the so-called radical environmental extremists are aiming at. I mean, they have a never-ending search and battle that they keep throwing things in our face. What are some of the other hot spots right now that we need to be made aware of?
Well, there's 2 national monuments being proposed in Idaho. One of them is in the Boulder White Cloud Mountains, the SNRA, and the other one is in Mesa Falls, which is outside of Island Park. And even though you don't recreate there, even though you've never been there, you still have a stake. It's still your state. It still impacts how your fellow citizens get to recreate and where they get to go. So we're all in this together. And, it could be in your neighborhood next. So fight now. We're working very closely with all the user groups, with the governor's office, with the delegation, to make sure that Idahoans, if there is a national monument, is one that works for us, that benefits all user groups, not just one user group. So we're involved in that, and if people want to know more about that, they can let me know. There's going to be more management plans for refuge. And we need to take them one at a time and work the process and be involved. Make sure that we're submitting substantive comments. Make sure we understand the issues and we get the local people and the local governments involved. We're doing up north. We're doing forest planning. That's going to be critical to the huge Clearwater Nez Perce forest. We're involved in that. So there's lots of issues, and issues come up. They blindside you. You think, wow, there's nothing going on, and you turn around and somebody's filed a lawsuit, or one agency is deciding to close an area. So there's always new issues, and we need to be able to alert people to those issues and give them the opportunity to be involved.
You know, one point I want to make with you, and then have you elaborate on it, is that I'm one of these kind of guys that because I'm all busted up, my legs are no good, I have to rely on either going into areas a horseback or on an ATV. And there are a lot of other seniors that have other frailties that limit them as to how they can see and partake of the public lands that they pay taxes for. And I will say this, I think that right now, more so than ever before, this administration is doing all it can to weed us out to the point where there's only like 6'2", blue-eyed, blonde-haired backpackers that can go into certain areas. And why in the world shouldn't we be outraged? Because we're being discriminated against.
Well, and I agree. And I am not... I work with, represent proudly the motorized community, but I will tell you that none of the groups to which I belong believe that there should be there should be a motor on every acre of public land, nor should there be a jet boat on every river. However, we do believe that where appropriate, and it's desired by a huge number of the public, that if they're going to exclude us, if they're going to prohibit our use, they better do it for a good reason, not just because somebody doesn't like you, or you may disturb some wildlife. There has to be good reasons why we're not allowed to go into areas. They just can't arbitrarily and capriciously lock us out, and those are the kinds of things that I think about what you're talking. It's just insane, and it isn't even, you know, the ability to use motorized recreation. It has a lot to do with the fact that there are a lot of people who have to have it if they're going to get in the back country. The other part of it is, if you truly want to get into the back country, you need motorized recreation. Or an awful lot of time. Mm-hmm. Because think how far you can walk in a day as compared to how far you can drive.
Right.
I mean, there's no comparison. So if you're getting way into the back country, that's the kind of vehicle you need. Now, I will tell you, in the winter, for example, there's nobody in the back country unless they're on a snowmobile. The average skier goes 3 to 5 miles in a day from a portal. So if you want to see the backcountry, the only people who are seeing the mountains and the snow are those who use a snowmobile.
Absolutely. You know, from the other standpoint, and I want to be fairly objective on this and create a fairness attitude, all people that use our public lands instead of abuse. And you know as well as I do that we've got some bad apples in every barrel, and we should address those people to the point where clean up your act and don't cause problems for everybody else.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. But I will tell you that I don't think there's a user group in the world that can take the moral high ground on this one. You know, it doesn't matter what the group, whether they're motorized or non-motorized, there's probably about 5% or 10% of that group that are just plain jerks. And the only way you can deal with them is law enforcement. A number of years ago, I worked on a management plan for the Frank Church River of No Return Wilderness. And I will tell you, in wilderness, no motors, we were facing the same kind of issues we face on multiple use lands. Garbage, riparian areas being disturbed, those same kinds of issues, and they weren't doing it with motors. The problem isn't the mode of transportation. The problem is people. People. And there are people who are irresponsible. And one of the, and then we proudly, the philosophy of the Idaho Recreation Council is responsible shared use. And we believe that all people have a responsibility to care and share the land. But we all have to care for the land. That is our responsibility. It's our responsibility to know the rules of the road, to know where you can go, where you can't go, and it's our responsibility to stay on trails and not ruin the land, not scar the land. I agree with that completely. But that's true with people on horseback, that's people hiking, that's people who are out in the backcountry with dogs, not allowing dogs to run and to harass wildlife. Those are all our responsibilities, and we all share that.
Yeah, and there's one other issue, too, that I'd like to bring up this morning as far as one of my pet peeves. When I used to be co-owner of an outfitting company, you have people that leave a suburban lifestyle, and they get out in the wilderness, and whether it's a pack trip on horses like we provided or whether it's on an ATV, doesn't make any difference, and they seem to get this relaxed feeling that the world is their trash can, and they throw everything on the ground as if, oh, well, somebody else will come along and pick it up, or it doesn't matter. I would like to be Smokey Bear at that time and plant a shovel right in their forehead. This really bothers me that people have to leave their trash laying on the ground.
It is, and that was one of the big problems in the wilderness. But you look at our highways and our roads.
Yeah.
I mean, who drives down a road and opens a window and throws out a can?
A guy that drives a blue Toyota 1999 that went by my place the other night. And if I had the license number, I would go fill up a whole gunny sack worth of recycled alfalfa from my feedlot and deposit it on his front porch. Excuse me.
I agree. Once again, there's a certain percentage of our society that are just jerks. They just don't follow the rules, and they don't seem to care. And I don't know why they think they're immune. And to me, it's really a matter of just being totally disrespectful of this incredible country with which we've been blessed. I mean, it is spectacular. I spent an enormous amount of time up north this last year driving up in the Grangeville Orfino, and you come up onto that Camas Prairie, and you look at that, and I just look at that and I go, we are so blessed. God has blessed us with all these resources. How did we mess it up so badly?
Yeah.
I don't know how we did that.
I think there should be a
lot of time.
Yeah, we need $1 million fine for every napkin or candy bar wrapper that's thrown out there.
Oh. Yeah, I when someone throws something out, I want to run up and stop them. What? What are you thinking?
Yeah.
This is your country. This is your state. Why would you litter it? Why would you make it ugly?
You know, Sandra, keep us informed on all the issues, and you're always a blessing to have on this program. I like the way you think and the way you let your thoughts be heard, and so God's blessings to you from our program, and we'll keep in touch and have you back in the near future.
All right, and thank you very much.
Oh, no, thank you. Sandra Mitchell with the Idaho Recreation Council, a wonderful lady. Thank you very much. Very nice lady. Okay, let's see where we're at here. Oh, we've got to have a weather update with MichaelRogersWeather.com.
Hey, everybody, Michael Rogers for MichaelRogersWeather.com. You see that lightning show last night? The great thing about lightning, guess what? When you get lightning in the Magic Valley like that, it's free of charge. 92 for the high today. A lot of sun, very little clouds. 57 for the overnight low. Enjoy the weather. It's the only weather you got.
Thank you, Michael. MichaelRogersWeather.com. Hey, don't forget your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. They're busy. Oh, are they busy right now this time of the year? You know, people are taking road trips before the kids go back to school, and they looked at the tires and they go, holy smokes, Ethel, we won't even make it across the county line. Well, you better get in there and make sure that you're driving on safe tires for your car, your pickup, your SUV, your camp trailer, horse trailer, boat trailer, everything. Make sure you drive on safe tires. They've got the best of tires, all the tread design, everything for you at your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Oh, by the way, have your brakes checked. They give free brake inspections, free estimates, same-day service. I'm telling you, they're the best at your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers with Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, and of course Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, Lane and Rupert, John on Pole Line in Twin Falls, and Randy on Overland in Burley, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Gina, are you afraid of lightning?
No, I am not.
I'm petrified of it.
Really?
I got hit.
Well, that would be a good excuse as to why you're petrified.
I was hit by lightning back in the late 80s at a rodeo, and it went through the speaker system and popped right out of the microphone and bit me. And I'll guarantee you it picked my fat little body up and drove it about 8 feet to the back of the announcer stand, and it was not fun.
No, at one time growing up in northern Idaho where we would just get phenomenal lightning and thunderstorms, I was driving, and we were living in Potlatch. I was driving my parents' car. They had a nice little Mazda 626 at the time. And driving my car, I had to go get my brother for something in the middle of a really, really, really bad lightning and thunderstorm. And I think I got a little bit too close because it fried the radio of the car, and it never worked again.
Yeah. And there was a kid last night at that Ropin, and they took a little lightning break to have everybody run to their trailers and get out of the side of the lightning, quite frankly. And I never will forget it. He said, you bunch of pansies. And I looked at him and I said, kid, you've never been hit by lightning. If you're smart, you'll get in your trailer. You know, because lightning can kill. And it was severe lightning last night. It was coming down that chain lightning. And quite frankly, after that jolt that I took back in the late 80s through a speaker system at a rodeo, I have the utmost respect for lightning. And from that day forward, if I'm announcing a rodeo and the weather looks bad and there is lightning, I always find somebody in the grandstand that wants to come up and hold the microphone.
Anybody want to do my job?
Yeah, come on up. Here you go.
Yeah, James is the same way. He's if a storm is coming and he's blasting, he shuts everything down and he just doesn't even mess with it.
And that last night, I mean, there was a lot of lightning out there, and I think, what did I do? I heard that it started like 14 or 16 fires last night.
It was, yeah, quite a few, and a couple more were started in the Castleford area. I do think 4.
Really?
Yeah.
So we're looking at severe fire danger right now. We're looking at very dry conditions. We're looking at BLM notifying everybody and saying, please be careful out there. And really, I don't see, except for some late afternoon thunder bumpers, which could aid and abet the problem some more with the lightning.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bad situation for the next couple of days.
It is going to be a very bad situation for the next couple of days. So anything that we can do to help Mother Nature along and help the firefighters along, please do so.
What are you going to do this weekend?
Frisbee golf.
Oh, yeah, you said that. I forgot. It was...
We work a little bit more on my little brother's car.
Oh, really? Still working on that car?
Oh, this is going to be a long, long process. Actually, James, I was so excited and it was so much fun. Got to tell you this. I got to use the blaster for the first time ever.
The blaster?
The blaster.
Uh-huh.
And so I sandblasted out the engine compartment to my little brother's car. And so that was a learning experience for me. I had a lot of fun with that, and then we seal coated that. So we're almost ready to put the engine in, but my little brother first has to buy his engine so we can install it.
How come it takes you months and months and months and they can put all these cars back together again and renovate them on Fast and Loud in an hour?
Well, because that hour show is like filmed over a several week period of time, and
really?
Working on it, and then it's just me and James.
Oh, do you mean to tell me that the marvels of editorial services perhaps come into play?
Hello.
Well, I'll be doggone.
It's the magic of television.
What color is the car going to be, by the way?
It is going to be a medium electric blue with a black interior.
Ooh, sounds like if you wear shorts in the summertime, it will fry your butt.
Yes, and we're going to put some ghost flames on it, and there will be some opalescent ghost flames on it, and then we're going to put in a ZZ4 350 crate.
Ooh, you know your stuff, lady.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, girl, folks? This lady, we call her Harley Girl for a good reason. She knows her oompa. She knows her engines.
Yeah, well, actually, my little brother had sent me a link, and he's like, okay, well, this is the engine what I want and everything. And so I found him a better engine that's basically turnkey. All we have to do is install it, hook up the hoses, and put in the fluid and turn it on.
Oh, my goodness. I'll tell you what, you are Miss Motorcraft Magazine 2013.
Well, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Have a great weekend.
You too.
All right, I'm going to tell everybody, Zeb at the Ranch, we're wrapping it up and putting back in the box for this week. We'll see you next Monday at 8:06 right here on Zeb at the Ranch. God bless you and your family, and remember, the way things were are the way things ought to be. Have a good one. Be safe.